Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Making sure everything's looking okay. Hello, Glock. How you doing? I had another interview earlier today, but we kind of have to follow up tomorrow because they ran out of printer ink. There's a document that I need to sign, but their printer ran out of ink, so I have to come back tomorrow. What's good? I've been bored all day. Hello, Void Cat. Have we met before? Nice to have some new faces every now and then. But oh yeah, Brett. See if I can find. There's something that I wanted to tell you real quick. You went shopping for an outfit. I need to buy a new belt. The belt I have is this fabric one, and the fabric is coming off at the sides. I need one that has those metal rings around it so that, like, I find that with belts, the little hoops, you recently subbed? Oh, thank you for the sub. Yeah, I need to find a new, these old belts with, like, the fabric belts with little metal rings around it. I find that, like, with a traditional leather belt, try to pull it up to the notch, and then that notch sort of gets stretched out over time, and so I'd have to... So I need to get a new belt. Thankfully, they're like $8, so I can get one anytime. Oh yeah, Brett. So there's some new songs are getting added to DDR. I think they've already been added. Well, there's a new challenge chart for one of the VTuber songs. Then there's a new Galaxy Brave. I have no idea what that song says, because it's just a kanji, but... And then there's 2 new Western pops. There's Miles on It by Marshmello and Kane Brown, and then there's Stars in the Sky by Kid Cudi? I have no idea how you say his name. And apparently that latter song was featured in the Sonic 2 movie, which makes me wonder how they're going to implement that in the game. Because if they were going to show that song's music video, they'd probably need to pay rights to Sega just to display it. So I don't know if they will show the music video to that, but it's interesting that they're choosing something from that's featured in a movie that was, I don't know if sponsored is the correct term, but that features a different game company's IP. Yes, Jack. My new job is being unemployed, and Microsoft Edge is not responding because I'm trying to look up some information. Okay. Let me see the... You've watched the Sonic 2 movie? I haven't seen either of the movies, like, all the way. I've seen, like, parts of them. Actually, I think I might have seen the original, but I don't remember. What is this again? Oh, I don't have that yet. Okay. But I'll be playing at least a few of those new songs on next Tuesday. But for now, there's not really much else. If anyone, I hope everyone is having a good day or night, depending on what part of the world that you live in. Super El Nino has become a thing. Yes, I think I'm well aware of that. I don't remember exactly. Oh, and apparently there was oh, or is that something else? I read some article, but it might actually be something else. Yeah, you mentioned that, Brett. An outfit. Watch a Komodo dragon take down its massive prey. It doesn't fight fair. Oh yeah. Hold on. Let me check. Super El Nino 2026. El Nino is coming for the rest of 2026. I don't exactly know what would happen. Why this El Nino is scary. Apparently the water is very, very hot. Unusually more rain, less hurricane activity, thanks to upper shear. Oh yeah, that's what I saw. I was like, apparently there's going to be fewer hurricanes, which I don't exactly know how that works, but... Oh my god. You made chocolate chip cookies. I'm wondering if there is a video that we could look on it. There's like multiple though. Cookies. It looks like a scar on the map. I mean, you could say that about tectonic plate boundaries too, or seafloor spreading specifically. Seafloor spreading looks like climate change, yeah. No, these little graphical maps, yeah. No summer, the year without a summer. Or 1816 became the year without a summer. Wasn't there one that wasn't that because of some volcanic eruption? It's the strongest one in decades. Judging from some of these info maps, I'm trying to remember. The southern half of the US is going to be warm, but the northern half, neither is. It's more art than science, as Rick Sanchez would say, in terms of genetic engineering or whatever the hell. But no, I've been paying attention to weather patterns for the past several years. Like, starting around 2016, yeah. Oh yeah, June is our month. Or, yeah. No, starting in like 2016, 2017, I've been paying attention to the weather, and it's around that point. Pinatubo? It was either that or some other volcano in the Malay archipelago, but no, I've been paying attention to the weather patterns, and I've noticed week by week the temperature would go up and then go back down, and then up and down and up and down, and I've noticed that for the past decade. And I swear it didn't start doing that until around 2016, 2017. And it's still doing that. We haven't been tracking it long enough. I see. Yeah, there was an eruption that caused it, and I think, yeah, I remember seeing like some things pop up every now and then. The government is controlling the weather to look up Brayton's Project Satan. Oh, so it's the British space lasers as opposed to the Jewish space lasers. Okay, King. What's the name of the current king of the United Kingdom? I don't know his name. I don't keep up with that kind of thing, even if it is a big deal for some people. All right. Ow. If anyone else has anything that they'd like to talk about, we can probably take a look at least one of these videos about the Super El Nino. And then we've got some other more miscellaneous things that we could look at. There was one video that actually caught my eye about a TikTok, or it's an actual, so they're doing actual weather controlling. But if it's the British, it makes sense. There's much to learn from recent trends. Heavy rain dumpers that the soil can't absorb enough, so it floods everywhere. It's been flood. Sounds like my basement. I see it doesn't pop up in Google searches. I have British Project SAT, but I don't really want to finish the rest of that. Stratospheric aerosol transport and nucleation. Okay. I see stratospheric aerosol injection. Oh, here it is. They are key mechanisms in solar radiation modification, or SRM. That is not what SRM stands for. SRM stands for stale reference manipulation, and it refers to a glitch that can be performed in Nintendo 64 games that leads to a powerful glitch known as arbitrary code execution that basically allows you to write your own code into the game, which is how speedrunners were able to get the Triforce in Ocarina of Time after all these years. How I can get weather spotter trained. I low-key, when I was a kid, I wanted to be like a storm chaser because I thought that would be fun but also scary at the same time. I don't know if I can do that kind of thing. Let's see, it says it's aimed at reflecting sunlight to cool the planet. Oh, isn't that what they say chemtrails are for? Is to reflect the sunlight. Now, my dad, who is a pilot, says that chemtrails aren't really what we think they are, but I don't know. Nucleation, where precursor gases like sulfur dioxide contents. Transport, once formed. Tropical pipe. Research into these evolve, for instance, the US or the UK-based Saturn. Low-cost, high-altitude balloon tests to study these dynamics in real-world conditions. Independent efforts have drawn scrutiny from governing bodies. My God. You wanted to be a chef. I never really knew what I wanted to be, though. You could do it from your own home in about since '98. I mean, I do have a video in the docket about the worst tornado disaster in 70 years about the Joplin EF5, which I've been meaning to take a look at that. It pops up in my recommendations a few times, but yeah. But it doesn't surprise me that they be doing actual weather control. But it doesn't seem to be working unless it's one of those long-term things, because you know you got to think long-term, Bobby. You can't just, because if you take auto shop, then the last thing that you'll be worrying about is how your carburetor feels. Check out the HARP radio beam antenna in Alaska. I think I know what that is. I think I've heard of that. Not sharp, HARP. HARP in Alaska, yeah. Yeah, I think I know about this place. At least I vaguely remember about it. Why was HARP shut down? It was due to a lack of funding and shifting defense. Yeah, 2011, I remember. Apparently, it has 2.5 stars on Google reviews. Now, why the hell would you want to give stars to a research facility? That just seems very superficial, for lack of a better term. I don't understand why something like that would even have reviews on it. I don't even know if people would consider that a tourist destination. Shit. Something about dead man walking tornadoes. There was a video that I saw about, these tornado monsters and other sky creatures. It's hunting you. It got handed over from the Air Force to, the University of Alaska does it. Wendy's headquarters has 2.9. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, I see. But If we are going to talk about weather first and foremost, then I guess we can check that out so that we can get some better context as to what the heck it is that this Omega El Nino or whatever built in 93. Okay. We need to bring back the Office of Civil Defense and get rid of FEMA. Well, Jackal, the thing is, according to Huey Freeman, FEMA is the #1 leading killer of black men. The top 3 from #1 to 3, 1 is FEMA. They kill more black people than anyone else. 2 is pork chops, which I can never remember what that actually means. And the number 3 is brother moments. We'll just call them that. Those are the 3 leading killers of black people. So clearly FEMA does more harm than good in that case. Plus, I mean, they had a whole episode about Granddad's extended family from New Orleans being from the 9th Ward of New Orleans, still waiting on their FEMA check because according to Uncle Ruckus, they was barely making but $3 an hour before Katrina, and now each and every single one of them wanted $300,000. Ain't that a bitch? Oh yeah, buying supplies and never using it. I bet some people are still waiting on their FEMA checks. The CD was started by the U.S. during the Cold War. Okay. You forgot to turn in, what? Did you forget to turn in the wrong forms or whatever? Because I don't even know where the hell I was going with that, but I'm glad I went there. Ow. It's nice that we could start having these more you'd volunteer different jobs and get your white helmet in it. Okay, I see. Okay. I guess we can move. Yeah, there's still people waiting from the the North Carolina. Oh yeah, because they went. Oh yeah, one of the things they did is that they skipped over houses that supported the thump. So yeah, that's something that was a bitch move on their part. So yeah, I understand that being frustrated with a organization that should be for everybody, but no, they only want to help people that they agree with. Otherwise, then it's just not done, as they would say. And I don't know who they are, but I know that they would say it. Okay. Anyone else have any more thought? Yeah. It's more broader, would be able to help more for just emergencies and weathers and stuff. I mean, that's what it should be for, just helping people that genuinely need it, regardless of who they are or what they think and believe, but some people just don't care. Some people are so petty when it comes to that kind of stuff that they're willing to gloss over it because, like, that neighbor has that sign there. They're probably a national socialist, so we're not going to help them. He's the wrong kind of socialist, but I don't know anymore. I'm rambling at this point. I guess I could take a look at the Bert the Turtle says duck and cover in a nuclear attack. I feel like I should know who Bert the Turtle is, but I'm drawing a blank. Oh, it's a film from 1952. Or something like that. Documentary animation. Okay, I see now. No, I thought it would be something else that I would know, but I guess not. Okay, I guess we can check out one of these videos about the El Nino. Was coming like last year and the year before that. But what makes this, like, apparently this was El Nino in 1977, and this is El Nino now. Feel old yet? For civil defense. And then we have all of these clickbaity, all of these freaking clickbaity, fear-mongering thumbnails Be like, I mean, the Earth has been through much, much worse in the countless eons that it's existed, yet life finds a way. That's one of the things that life on Earth is notorious for. It finds a way. So, and we will adapt. That's one of the things that life does, is that it adapts to changing scenarios. 18... Did I say 1977? Well, then I meant 1764. That's what I meant. 1877, and this is it now. Do you feel old yet? Yes, I'm going to say it again. And apparently this shouldn't happen, but guess what? It's happening because the Earth doesn't care about what humans think is impossible. Just like how, according to all known laws of aviation, a bee shouldn't be able to fly because its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. But of course, the bee flies anyway because it doesn't care about what humans think is impossible. And that's basically what describes this little El Nino that's going on. So we have to deal with some hot water. Basically, I mean, you've heard of people being in hot water, which is when they're in trouble. But I guess this is hotter now. It's clearly, yeah, Mount Grain School had orange rubber-coated blackout curtains for a nuclear test. Oh, you had to deal with... Oh yeah, I remember that was a thing back in those days during the Cold War, where they would conduct nuclear drills, where they would hide under their desks as if that's going to protect you from a nuclear explosion. And that's one of those things. And so when we had to do lockdown drills, ended up being changed, because the way that they were done before is that we would crowd up in a particular corner of a room and just hide there. But we eventually changed it so that we barricade the door, and if they try to get in, we just start throwing shit at them, which is much more effective than simply just cowering. Yeah. Your local post office has a fallout shelter sign on it. Really? That's I don't think I've ever seen... Is it like a legitimate one, or is it like a novelty one? Because I can see both being realistic. Watch it be like from the Fallout series, that blonde character guy with the thumbs up. You know which one I'm talking about. They just do tornado drills and lockdown drills. They don't do fire drills anymore. Yeah, we did fire drills, tornado drills, and lockdown drills. You never had those? You graduated in 2K. The year after that was a thing. I thought you said that you lived through Y2K back when that was a thing. I was a baby when Y2K. And people thought that everything, all the computer systems were going to fail and all the launch codes are going to activate, only to find out that everything just simply resets to 0. And so much so that after the King of the Hill episode about it, Dale made jokes about the spectacular failure of Y2K. He had a whole surplus of, like, all sorts of things, like Mountain Dew and shit. Fallout shelters are in lots of old brick buildings. I guess that describes, Jackal's post office. If it's the... How old is that building, then? It must go all the way back to the 7th. I don't even know when they started doing it. When exactly did people start doing nuclear drills? Was it when the Soviets started developing nuclear weapons, or was it something, some other context? I don't remember. I just know that it was in the context of the Cold War. But it's nice that we can finally have some just chatting segments. It's about time that we started doing that more often. Pad out the stream so that we don't have to look at too many the 20s or 30s, really. Is that when nuclear weapons... I don't even remember how it all started. Tornado and nuke attack drills that ended with the Cold War. Died. Yeah. Yeah, we did fire, tornado, and lockdown drills. 40s, early 50s, it all... Right. I'd imagine that it would be after Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? Since those are the first time that Obviously, they were like tested before in like remote parts of like the Arctic and some scattered islands in the Pacific, but it wasn't until then that they were actually used as bona fide weapons. The post office also has windows for gold exchange. I don't even know what that means. Are they like, do they have like gold embedded within them or something? Oh, Lord. Whoops. I have the 2 pairs of scissors here. I need to cut my hair at some point. It's getting annoying. Yeah, no lockdown for us. It was new by then. I see. Yeah. Konbawa, Pinnacle. We're having a bull session right now. Where we're talking about... Oh, you just got home? All right. We were talking about the major El Nino that's up and coming, and then it turned into a discussion about nuclear drills during the second half of the 20th century. Back when the dollar could be exchanged for gold, Windows all boarded up now. Oh, it's one of those things. So there used to be Windows, and then they boarded it all up. I know that's something that can happen. So much for getting natural lighting. But yeah, I'm trying to interpret these little weather maps. I'm assuming that the south is gonna be very warm, but the north is gonna be not as warm. If I'm picturing this correctly, and it has to do with wind shear or something like that. The planet's very complicated, so. Oh, Lord. It's okay. If anyone else has anything, if anyone has any one more thing to say, then we can take a look at this. And then since we were talking about the weather, we could take a look at the Joplin tornado video. And then after that's done, we'll look at miscellaneous things. They took the dollar off the gold. Oh yeah, yeah. The U.S. could save its gold if the U.S. sold all its. It wouldn't even pay off 1% of the debt. That does not surprise me. I remember being told that the vast majority of the trillions of dollars of debt is to the citizens of the U.S. The government itself is in debt to its citizens. And apparently they're not able to pay it off. Always take the weather with you. So, I'm wondering, where exactly is my money? They owe the American public trillions of bucks. And yet they're spending it on... Yeah, are we... The last I remember, it was at least 13 trillion. It's already gone up to 40 trillion. Oh my god. And apparently there's not enough gold in the world that'll take that. Crowded House sings the song Take the Weather. Oh, it's a song. Okay. Honestly, 40 trillion in debt is not surprising. And the majority of that is for the American people. Yet we have people that are trying to live paycheck to paycheck who can't afford a house and they can't afford gas, but, you know. And right now, I'm trying to find a new job so that I can pay off my bills. Something that I want to do is that I want to take a future paycheck and just use that check in order to pay off a whole bunch of miscellaneous bills. That way, future bills won't be so tantalizing or overwhelming. I just want to... I want, like, one flat rate there. Just a monthly flat bill that I could just pay off, use it that way. But it might take a while for me to figure that out. I know my mom said that her and my dad would be able to help me while I'm still finding a job, but, you know. Okay, yeah, since this one's a shorter video, I'm gonna at least take a look at it real quick. It's coming for the rest of 2026. And then these are the sea temperatures. And then there's the Galapagos Islands. Let's see what's actually going on, shall we?
The El Nino continues to develop, and it looks to get stronger for the rest of the year. If we take a look at the latest sea surface temperature anomalies, notice there's no longer any blues. That is the continuation.
Yeah. Yeah, it happened in the last 26 years. The U.S. debt was only 2,005 trillion. So, that does not surprise me one bit, and they're just gonna keep racking it up. There's no way that I don't think there's enough gold in the world to be able to pay that off.
Of this rapid warmth that's happening in the Pacific Basin.
There is no blue down there.
That is complements of the developing El Nino that's continuing to get stronger. You can see the steady trend upward. It has flatlined a little bit over the last week or two, but there's definitely signs in the short term it's about to take another leg up, because if we take a look at the West Pacific, I mean,
I don't know what this is supposed to be.
this is the time of year we like to look at some typhoons that's happening.
Oh, this is a typhoon. Okay, I figured in my head that this was a typhoon path map.
Happening out there in that part of the country. And it looks to be a tropical storm that's going to be rapidly developing into a typhoon over the next week or two. And as this continues to develop, it looks to recurve out to sea. And as it recurves out to sea, one of the things that's going to happen is we're going to be having a fairly intense westerly wind burst along the equator. And that is going to help elevate and amplify a Kelvin wave and push some of those easterly winds, warmer easterly winds, and right into the Enzo region. So we look to have another,
I have no idea what he just said, not gonna lie.
another leg up, if you will, and an increased sea surface temperature anomalies.
From what I can get, you know what, I'm not gonna try to comprehend that. This might be a little too technical for me.
You know, by the time we get into that second week of June, and that is only going to kickstart the El Nino in what's expected to be a strong, if not super El Nino, by the time we get into the fall and winter months. And one of the things
Here's a
is going to happen in the short term is this interesting feature called an omega block. And you can see the dominating ridge is going to be lifted
I'm trying to figure out what this metric is.
well north. You essentially have a low pressure center.
Okay, it's just pressure. I thought this was temperature, it's not.
On either side, and in the middle, this upper, this rising air, this heat dome, if you will.
Okay, so it is.
Sends
Apparently these are pressure systems.
well above average temperatures, well up into Canada. And typically, when something like that happens, it allows some of these lower pressures underneath. We already have a more active subtropical jet stream, complements of the developing El Nino, but this is only going to kickstart it even further. And what this will likely do is elevate some of the precipitable water values down there in the Caribbean and bring their waters up to, higher, some of those higher water content values.
Precipitable water in
Pushing
inches.
from the Caribbean and into the Gulf by the time we head towards the end of the month. All these deepening reds are essentially over 2-inch per hour rainfall rates.
Oh, okay.
And these purples are over 3 inches per hour. This is an extremely saturated air mass. So as that high pressure center lifts over the top, it allows these, some of these pressures to fall underneath.
This might be a little too technical to watch. We could probably just move on from here. I think we said everything that we needed to in that context. But if we really wanted to, we could just move on and talk about the worst tornado in 7 years, the Joplin EF5. And this was back in 2011, which I remember when this was going. It took you a whole year to figure out how to change your EPT on DoorDash. Oh no. Okay. But yeah, I remember religiously watching the Weather Channel back way back then around 2010, 2011, even a little after that. I remember watching it all the time because that was during the time that I kind of had a mild obsession with the weather, to the point to where I wanted to be like a weatherman and stuff. And I distinctly remember the Weather Channel documenting the massive tornado outbreak that took place in 2011. But I do remember there being a particularly devastating one that took place, and it's apparently this Joplin EF-15. And so I guess we can check this out real quick. And yeah, car no work. You gotta wait a month for your car to get repaired. I see. You watched Hurricanes Hugo and Andrew on it. Oh. I remember watching Hurricane Ike as well. That was also a big deal. But let's go ahead and jump right into this to see the worst tornado disaster in 70 years.
Imagine hanging out with friends and family at a graduation party on a warm day in late spring. Jamie and his family were doing just that in Joplin, Missouri on May 22nd, 2011.
I can't see how this story could possibly take a sharp turn.
Everything was going well. The conversation was light, the sun was shining, but suddenly...
That's how it always starts, just when you think the weather is nice and sunny. No, literally that Avatar episode, The Storm, where at first it was a bright day, and then Uncle Iroh smells the air and says, "There's a storm approaching." And then that old lady's joints said that there was a storm that was coming, as opposed to her husband's brains saying that there isn't a storm. But then as the episode progresses, then you can see the storm clouds moving in.
The group noticed extremely dark skies to the west. At first they weren't too worried. It was springtime and afternoon thunderstorms were quite common in southern Missouri.
Yeah, early spring. Yes, the transition from like cold weather to warmer weather, the mix of warm and cold air is a decent recipe for storms and stuff.
But the darkness continued to get closer and closer and closer. The birds went silent and the wind began to pick up. Jamie grabbed an old camera and began filming the eerie scene.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a hail.
Oh, you better get inside if it's hailing.
But the sky continued to get darker and darker, and the winds got even stronger. Realizing that him and his family could be in a dangerous situation, Jamie advised them to get inside. The family gathered in the lowest part of their house as Jamie continued to film.
Yeah.
Suddenly,
that's probably the best case scenario, yeah.
A freight train-like noise could be heard approaching outside.
And that's how it starts. I remember hearing stories about tornadoes saying that whenever you hear one, it always sounds like a train.
Slowly getting louder and louder. The home began to shake and glass could be heard breaking upstairs.
You better get down there.
But the family stayed calm, stayed low, and as quickly as it started, it was over. Jamie and his family had just encountered a mile-wide EF5 tornado. But luckily for them, their house was on the very edge of the tornado, not
barely missed it.
Quite within the direct path. After the event, Jamie filmed the destruction. While the second story of his home had an entire wall missing, the house was overall intact. However, they were lucky, as the same could not be said about their next-door neighbors. The neighbor's house right across the street had been completely destroyed. In fact, it was one of over 7,000 houses that were destroyed in Joplin, Missouri on that Sunday. Every year, the U.S. sees about 1,300 tornadoes on average. Most of these twisters, about 80%, are very weak. Violent tornadoes, EF2 through EF4, make up about 19% of all tornadoes.
Yeah, that might not seem like a lot, but 19%, round that up to 20, that's 1 in 5 tornadoes are very big and violent.
But they're not the worst type of tornado. That goes to the ultra-rare, ultra-dangerous EF5, the strongest tornado possible. A wall of death that just...
yeah, we took a look at another video about that one tornado that had multiple satellite tornadoes, not only surrounding it, but even on the inside, so much so that it was described as being an impossible storm.
Destroys everything in its path. These monsters can be over 2 miles wide with wind speeds well over 200 miles per hour. Yeah. Thankfully though, most of these massive deadly monsters occur over open plains or cornfields.
And the only people that are in, and you better hope that you're not living in one of those farmhouses in the middle of nowhere.
However, every once in a while, they may strike a small town, claiming dozens of lives. And on an even rarer occasion, we have what is often referred to as the tornado worst case scenario, an EF5 striking a highly populated city.
Yeah, that, you know damn well that's going to be all over the news.
There are only a handful of incidents, but the worst in recent memory is the May 22nd, 2011 Joplin, Missouri EF5. Today we are doing an in-depth,
Rip you. Oh, Will Norton, rest in peace. Pour one out for him.
detailed video about the event. We'll be covering the build-up, the arrival, the victims, the aftermath,
Maybe I should dedicate. If I clip this, I could dedicate it to him.
and the recovery. We will also be covering obscure lore, and of course we'll
Really? There's lore associated with this?
be discussing remnants that still remain to this day. This
Oh, Lord of Mercy. Okay, this just got really deep.
is the Struggle Studios Joplin EF5 documentary.
Let's go.
But before we get to that, a quick word from today's video sponsor, Into the AM.
Okay, if you guys want to check that out on your own, feel free to do
The
so.
AM for sponsoring the video. 2 days before the Joplin EF5 on May 20th, the signs of a potential tornado outbreak over the Central Plains were observed by the Storm Prediction Center.
Yeah, you usually know in advance whether or not there's going to be a storm anyway, which is why we have like watches and warnings. There was a flood watch earlier, which my basement flooded a little again, but you know.
When we look at their Day 3 conventional outlook,
Yeah, these are the likelihoods that tornadoes would pop up.
that would be May 22nd, the day of the event. That was posted on May 20th. We can see a 30% chance of severe weather within any area in the shaded red region.
This must have been during the, like, I know that Tornado Alley, like, the Great Plains is usually considered Tornado Alley, but it usually shifts across the year.
This, of course, includes Joplin. The Storm Prediction Center stated this: there's a slight risk of severe thunderstorms
Slight risk.
Sunday from the southern plains through the middle Mississippi, Ohio, and Tennessee valleys by Sunday. Dew guidance is suggestive that moderate to strong destabilization will occur over a rather broad area from the southern plains into the Ohio Valley and adjacent portions of the Mississippi and Tennessee valleys. This is expected to allow the development of considerable thunderstorm activity, including isolated supercells, a couple of which may be capable of producing tornadoes. The next day on
That's
May
usually the basic broad strokes.
21st, one day before the Joplin EF5, the Storm Prediction Center expanded their slight
Oh, they made it, interesting how they made it a little heart shape. Yeah.
risk area, and this time they noticed the first signs of a potentially dangerous situation in southern Missouri. The Storm Prediction Center stated this: an axis of stronger destabilization ahead of a weak southward trailing surface front into the lower Missouri Valley and ahead of a dry line across the southeastern plains is expected to be the focus for highly severe probabilities Sunday. However, the Storm Prediction Center predicted a greater tornadic threat further north in eastern Iowa,
Really? So they misinterpreted?
Illinois,
Or maybe there were a lot of tornadoes up there, but the one in Missouri was particularly devastating.
and southern Wisconsin. Finally, on the morning of May 22nd, the day of the Joplin tornado, the Storm Prediction Center issued this: a
Oh, so it just keeps changing.
probabilistic tornado graphic showing a 5% chance of a significant tornado throughout the central U.S.
So their predictions kept changing. Originally, it seemed like that there's going to be a major chance, but then they reduced the likelihood.
Joplin was right in the center. But this was only the beginning.
Oh, and then they change it later on.
Just a few hours later, the Storm Prediction Center upgraded the tornado probability map, increasing the probability to 10%, with Joplin still near the center. Still, the main tornado threat seemed to be up near Illinois. In fact, the Storm Prediction Center believed the main threat to Joplin and southern Missouri
Yes, probabilistic large hail graphic. Okay, so I've just been misinterpreting a little bit. The last pic have taken him holding this new high school diploma. Oh no! Oh no! Right after graduating, damn.
was hail. But hail wouldn't be the main threat. Early in the
Yeah, the hail can be dangerous, but nah,
afternoon on May 20th,
it's the wind. I remember having this conversation with Chat, and I also remember having this conversation with my mom. Like, when it comes to storms, it's the wind that you gotta watch out for more than any other phenomena. Like, floods can be devastating, and hail can be, and lightning could also be, but wind. It's wind that you really gotta look out for.
22nd, several isolated supercells began to erupt over Oklahoma and Kansas. The National Weather Service issued a tornado watch at 1:30 p.m. that included a swath of counties in Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri.
Yeah.
This included Jasper County and Joplin. At this time in Joplin, it was graduation Sunday.
Oh, and here's some context that yep, Glock was just mentioning that in chat.
Time of celebration for the class of 2011.
Little did they know what was going to befall them.
Many had extended family who had traveled from far away to Joplin for the
Oh my god, and that just adds a whole layer of heartbreak.
commencement and graduation party.
Yep, he and his dad were driving home in the Hummer when the twister hit. Oh my god, that's hard. That's awful.
Anyone in the early afternoon in Joplin who was either driving or near radio likely heard the dreaded EAS
Yeah, there was a tornado there. Hopefully it wasn't like this.
alert as a tornado watch had been issued for their area.
Yeah.
This was likely
Normally, at least where I live, they don't usually send out the alert system unless there's specifically a warning. But
the very
yeah.
first time anyone in Joplin knew they were under any sort of threat. But again, it was tornado season.
They knew, yeah, they live within the prime area of tornadoes, so they knew what to expect, but I guess they weren't expecting this.
Watches are not that uncommon in southern Missouri, so it's likely that most didn't pay much attention.
Yeah.
As the afternoon rolled on, several more supercells erupted over
That you could see them, just like this.
Oklahoma, and they were moving northeast towards southern Missouri.
Yeah, people die all the time.
Finally, around 5 p.m., one particular supercell to the west was...
We all gotta die sometime. May as well help each other get there. I mean, that's what you did to Stinkmina.
Rapidly strengthening. The skies to the west were getting increasingly darker, and the residents of Joplin began to take notice. The National Weather Service saw signs of rotation within the supercell and issued the very first tornado warning for northeastern Joplin and the
is this the fated storm?
surrounding area at 5:09 p.m. Around this time, the civil defense sirens were activated for approximately 3 minutes, and an NBC affiliate station located within Joplin began live coverage of the reported tornado rotation.
We are continuing to see where now the National Weather Service is reporting that it may...
Oh, I remember. This actually takes me back. This takes me back to when I was a kid, and then we'd hear the tornado sirens go off, and then we'd just turn on the news, and then the news would just be documenting the tornadoes and the storms on radar for like as long as the warnings remain in effect. And I remember watching these like all the time, and I remember being a kid freaking out, but as I've grown up, I've come to realize, like, at least where I live, tornadoes aren't that common, and they're not that dangerous. But yeah, a PDS tornado watch. Okay, so it's just different from what's already there.
Possibly be just a funnel cloud, not an actual
No, you look at this map, and this storm doesn't even look that big, but
tornado on the ground. They are working very...
No, this takes me back, seeing this at the bottom of the screen and stuff. Like, when it comes to, like, a severe thunderstorm warning, like, if you're on one of those channels that has a news stations like Fox or ABC, NBC, whenever there's, like, something like that, like a flood warning or a severe storm warning, they'll have those little maps that'll show you there, but it's only when there's a tornado warning does the news actually come on and take over whatever the programming is.
Very rapidly to try and confirm anything that they can at this point in time. Normally, we would try and take a look outside with our weather camera. However, it is just so rain-socked at this point in time, we really can't see. Oh, there, wow, look at that.
Yeah, all that rain.
Yep, there's a look to the northwest of us.
Wow.
We are...
You got hit with leftovers. Oh, no.
in western Joplin, so that's looking to the northwest, as we mentioned before.
At this time, the Weather Channel also began live coverage of the tornado warning over the Kansas-Missouri border.
For the southeast corner of Kansas, this has produced a funnel cloud. Getting reports of that now. Baseball and softball-sized hail, and our great tornado hunt team out
Yeah, a mini tornado ended up in town. 50 homes are damaged. Oh, no.
in this area this afternoon. Danielle?
The Weather Channel's own legendary meteorologist, Mike Betez, was actually located just outside of Joplin, tracking the storm.
Oh, geez. And we have someone that's already there. Taps heels together like Dorothy. We're not in Missouri anymore, because I know that in the Fairly Odd Parents episode with Tom Sawyer, he ain't going back to Missouri. No place like home.
That storm that you were just mentioning there, as we work our way over the state line from Kansas into Missouri near Joplin. Tons of rain, a lot of hail. We have some golf ball size hail that we've been pelted with as we try to race eastbound now to get ahead of it.
And he's there, witnessing whatever,
Then dive south. A lot of
whatever's going on.
that we noticed that a rotating wall cloud had passed over us near Columbus, Kansas.
At 5:17, another tornado warning was issued, this time including the entire
Yeah, but it was a much weaker one. At least it was weaker.
city of Joplin. After this warning, the sirens did not go off right away. 17 minutes later, at approximately 5:34, the initial phases of the tornado formed near West 32nd Street in
And so it begins.
southwestern Joplin. Several storm spotters in the area discovered that the tornado had a dangerous multi-vortex
Oh, I wish the Lord could take me home. Take me home. Country roads.
structure, almost like several tentacles dropping beneath the cloud base, similar to the dead man walking appearance of the 1997 Gerald F5.
So this is how it started. Well, I don't think this is a picture of that. Stop this train, you want to get off.
Ryan Carr happened to be driving when he captured the initial tornado formation on camera. He
Yeah, you never had any tornadoes where you live.
pulled over and began filming.
Yeah, I probably would too if I knew that something like this was going to happen, but I don't know if I'd either have to be very brave or very crazy to want to do something like this.
I don't know if it's gonna touch. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Oh, wait. Oh, I see.
There it is. Oh,
I can see it.
I don't know if you saw that. Holy crap. I hope.
No, if I were on the road, I don't know where. I don't know if I tried to drive away, or because the path of a tornado can be like it's predictable in a way, but it could also take a random sharp turn and then hit you anyway, even if you're trying to drive away from it.
This is taking awesome video of that.
So you
Oh
see.
my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I see it forming right there. Like you can see the funnel cloud and all that.
That is a tornado, people.
There it is.
That is a tornado, and I'm getting it on camera. I'm getting this cat crap on camera.
Oh, and then there's some lightning just for good measure.
Oh my gosh.
And more lightning.
Oh my gosh. Oh, sweet Jesus, keep me safe. Keep me safe, Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Keep me safe.
You should
The
probably...
tornado organized quickly, going from a multi-vortex cone tornado to a wedge in only a few seconds.
There can only be ones on the state next to yours. Even then, they're freak events. I guess they're not as common in Mexico.
Joplin's tornado nightmare had officially begun.
Yeah, it was a derecho. Oh yeah, I remember what a derecho. I know what a derecho is. But I remember there being a derecho years ago where I live, and it was on the news as well. I remember being woken up early by it and being freaked out. It's like just a huge storm with a lot of heavy rain.
While still in its initial weak phase,
Yeah, and whenever a tornado forms above water, it's usually called a water spout. Yeah, I know tornadoes are uncommon outside of the U.S., but they are known to have happened, like even in Europe. I think there was like at least one Roman document that I remember reading or seeing about. And then there's also the like dust devils that appear in deserts, among other places, that like at least in the Middle East they've inspired the stories of genies and stuff.
the tornado did cause damage along West 32nd Street. Mobile homes were destroyed and the tops of trees were blown off. The very first signs of damage can be seen via Google Earth. The satellite imagery shows a few downed trees just south of 32nd Street. You can also see the sporadic nature of the multi-vortices.
Oh, it even shows up in the maps like this. Is this like a recent Google map image or something?
Creating strange looping patterns in the forest. The first victims of the tornado can be seen on South Ashwood Avenue and other subdivisions nearby. While still relatively weak at this point, likely an EF2 or low-grade EF3,
even just at that level, they can be pretty devastating.
the tornado was quickly gaining strength and size, and many in Joplin were not even aware of the threat. It had been nearly 25 minutes since the tornado sirens last sounded, so many in Joplin had already left their shelters and
Oh, so they stopped. So they prematurely stopped the sirens, and so that gave people false security. Damn.
returned to whatever they were doing.
I don't know. That sounds like negligence.
Now, when it comes to cliche tornadoes, we tend to think of pictures
There are genes in Mars confirmed. Oh yeah, no, the dust devils on Mars are freaking tall as hell, much taller than what we have on Earth. Of course, that is likely to do with the fact that it is like Mars may have had an ocean at some point, but it's, yeah, there's plenty of gin going on Mars. Yeah. No, it's a water spout, is a tornado in the ocean.
picturesque cone.
Yeah, new cold air, convective funnels touch down to make brief, weak EF0 twisters, yeah. And I do know that it's also possible for them to form in snow as well, where they're called snow devils. I've seen a video of a snow devil at some ski resort.
That can easily be observed from a distance. This tornado in Albion, Illinois in 1990 is a classic example of that.
Yeah.
This is what the general public thinks a tornado.
Yeah, this is the... not necessarily stereotypical, but this is the type of tornado that people think of when they think of a tornado, even though tornadoes come in all different shapes and sizes. A hurricane is a massive tropical cyclone.
Tornado should look like. The Wizard of Oz tornado, if you will. And sometimes they do look like this. Like this right here is a storm.
Yeah, but they don't always look like this. There's some that are very thin and windy, and then there's the massive wide tornadoes like the one that we're researching now.
Tracer's dream. However, the Joplin EF5.
Oh, the sirens were okay. I rescind what I just said earlier about negligence. If they were damaged and stuff, then that would make sense. So apologies. I done fucked up. It looks like I'm gonna have to break out the ukulele.
5 was not a typical tornado. It was a rain-wrapped wedge. one of the most dangerous tornadoes one could ever encounter.
Yeah, because you can't tell where the tornado begins and where the rain, and whether or not it's actually the rain that you're seeing. Yeah, because it's hidden behind the rain, so you wouldn't know otherwise.
Night or nocturnal tornadoes are incredibly deadly because you
Yeah, well, in the northern hemisphere it's an anticyclone, and in the southern hemisphere it's a cyclone. Okay, dead man walking tornadoes. If you can remind me after this video is over, then we can take a look at that.
simply cannot see them. Well, the same can be said about rain-wrapped tornadoes. They almost just look like a dark cloud on the ground. This is the only sign of a tornado the people in Joplin observed. And honestly,
The El Reno tornado? Yes, I do know about that one.
if you don't know what you're looking for, this just looks like a
At least I know the name.
terrible rainstorm. The hidden tornado continued to move to the east, increasing in size and strength, destroying homes in its path. At 5
To the native peoples from the town of Joplin to... Oh, if you're blaming me for that...
38, 4 minutes after the tornado had formed, the city of Joplin finally activated the sirens once more. Around
Okay.
this time, the NBC affiliate went live again.
Could reach Europe quite cheap.
From the KSN Storm Center,
Oh, here we go.
this is a severe weather alert.
Good evening. We've got some information on this storm. Let's go ahead and go to the Freeman First Alert Doppler
Yeah.
radar. Galena is reporting, trade weather spotters in Galena are reporting now sightings of funnel clouds. Caitlin, you were telling me about that just a moment ago.
Now, this coverage by KSN is very interesting to watch and is honestly one of the most frightening pieces of tornado live coverage I've ever seen. During the
I'd imagine in that case, if you're live on the scene, you wouldn't even... It could pass right next to you and you wouldn't even know it. Yeah, it was the widest... Oh, the widest tornado.
live coverage, when they switch over to the tower cam,
Which one was the one that we took... Which one was the one that we took a look at weeks ago? We took a look at... I think that was the one we took a look at before, wasn't it? Like a month or two ago, we took a look at another Sweggle Studios video about a very, very large tornado that had multiple satellite tornadoes surrounding it, and even on the inside, and it had a very bizarre trajectory.
you can actually see the tornado shrouded by rain. But it is hidden. It's hard to notice.
I think it was that video that we took a look at, the one in El Reno. I might have to check through his channel to make sure.
Especially if you're not really looking for it. But there it is, a killer behind a veil of rain. Take a look at the reactions from the meteorologist covering the event. At first, they don't quite see the tornado.
Yeah, it killed the TwistX science team and a local weather spotter. Oh yeah, I think, yeah. It was big. No, it was big. It was a very big bone tornado. I mean, why else do you think it was so big?
But when they finally notice it, it shocks them.
But we do have National Weather Service
wow.
personnel stating that Galena has a public report of a funnel cloud. Public report meaning that one
Oh
of
my God, you saw that flash? Damn.
their train spotters hasn't seen it, but there's our tower cam.
And that would appear to be a power flash. That could be from a lightning strike, but
Yeah, why boy, an absolute unit.
that is the portion of the storm that we have been concerned with.
Tornado sirens once
Tornado
again.
sirens once again going off.
No, this is actually, he's not wrong about this footage being scary.
Joplin, those are definitely
look like
power
a-
flashes that
It's getting to me too, damn, no.
we're seeing on the ground.
Oh my God, no. Imagine just turning the camera and seeing this.
We're seeing on the ground. We are continuing to follow this at this point
The Greensburg tornado? Probably not.
in time. Caitlin, I'm going to let you take over for a minute.
Yeah, Jeremiah, right now it does look like there is a tornado on the ground in the southern portions of Joplin, just to the south of our station here.
Oh my God, they just keep ruining all those power lines.
Those power lines, you can see those flashes on there. Everybody,
People for difficult... Yeah, I think we did take a look at that video before.
if you live in southern Jasper, northern Newton, take cover.
Yes, please.
Right now,
Please
I am
do.
telling you to
Yes,
take
take
cover.
Good God, even they're freaking terrified. Nah,
Right now.
that's
You can definitely hear
insane.
the panic in their voices. Remember, there was only a small likelihood
Now, how exactly do these types of studios, if they were to like be in the presence of a tornado, do they have like emergency equipment? Do they even have basements? I'd imagine that they would, even if it's just for storage. But if the power goes out around the studio, then they wouldn't be able to tell anyone.
for tornadoes. Most experts, including the meteorologist shown here, were not expecting a massive wedge tornado, especially one that formed out of nowhere.
Continue to take cover from this storm. We can see that tornado on the ground from our tower cam.
You can hear the panic in her voice.
We are continuing to track that.
In this one of the coverage, you can really understand what a rain-wrapped tornado looks like. I mean,
You can't see it now. All the rain is
Look at that. You can't see anything.
A dangerous, dangerous situation at this point in time.
No, and you can hear some commotion going on in the background.
Meanwhile,
A literal life or death situation.
commencement address for the Joplin class of 2011 had recently concluded. One member of the class was 18-year-old aspiring YouTuber Will Norton.
Oh, this is the guy that Glock mentioned.
Will was a charismatic and popular student at Joplin High School, personality traits that can easily be seen on his YouTube channel. After the graduation ceremony, Will Norton was driving home with his father, Mark.
It destroyed 100. Oh, damn. Nope. Tornadoes have never been a joke.
Norton in their Hummer SUV. They were only a few minutes behind his Aunt Tracy and his sister Sarah. At this point, the tornado was at about an EF3 strength, crossing near Iron Gates Road. Once Tracy and Sarah made it back to their house, they could hear the tornado sirens well across the city, and they noticed just how grim the western sky looked. But they couldn't see the tornado as it was indeed rain wrapped.
Yeah, they didn't know. They didn't realize what was about to happen.
Sarah was understandably worried about her brother and her father, Mark. Around this time, she received a call from Mark asking her to open the garage door. Only a few moments later, Sarah could hear chaotic sounds coming from her phone. Sarah stated this:
The Will Norton story, our journey through the May 22nd Joplin tornado.
He was telling my brother, pull over, pull over. I heard the tornado whipping them around. I had a feeling that they were flipping around in the air. It was just...
Oh my... So it lifted their car. That's what I'm getting from that.
really scary. Will and his father Mark were heading down South Sheffer-Decker Avenue approximately here when the tornado struck their vehicle, flipping it into the ditch. Will's seatbelt ripped and he was sucked from the seat through the sunroof.
Motherfucker.
Mark remained in...
Imagine being the one that gets flung out by a tornado. I mean, you hear the jokes about flying cows getting sucked up in tornadoes, but when you're the one that's being sucked up, yeah.
the vehicle but was severely injured. After the tornado had passed, Mark was taken to a nearby hospital and gave details on what happened. Will, however, was nowhere to be found. Search parties were organized, and it wouldn't be until a few days later that he was discovered in a body of water right next to the road where the vehicle flipped.
What did the autopsy show?
This body of water right here. It is believed that Will Norton was the first victim of the Joplin EF5. This photo of Will with his diploma was taken only an hour before...
Nope, forget the sunroof. You actually reminded me of, not good at all, the debris, yeah. If it wasn't the drowning, it would have been... yeah, if it wasn't for... If that didn't kill him, then he would have certainly have drowned. But, Jack, you reminded me of this one time that my old band director for high school told a story about him leaving. He had a son with a sunroof thingy that he left it open once all night, and then it was raining, and so his car was soaked. I just thought that was it just reminded me of that, and it was perturbed to say the least. And so he had to sit. And I think he had one of those cars where the seats were all fabric, and so it was all water and all that. It can lift cows, it can give this fox a good uppies. I don't think you'd want to get sucked up by a tornado, I'm just saying.
Before he passed away. Will may have been the first fatality in the disaster, but unfortunately, he wouldn't nearly be the last.
That's his last pick, damn.
The tornado continued to head east through Joplin, tearing through several more neighborhoods. The next victims of the tornado would be Glenn and Lori Holland on South Oliver Avenue. Glenn was an avid shotgun shooter who was very well known within the community. He would often post on shotgun forums. He was also an Air Force veteran. Just to the east of the Holland house was the Joplin Elk Lodge. Within the Elk Lodge, 4 additional fatalities occurred. After the event, several other Elk Lodges within the area traveled to Missouri to help clean up the destruction and rebuild. But just to the east of the Elk Lodge was the St. John's Medical Center.
Oh no, even a hospital type thing.
Large hospital, and the tornado was heading straight towards it.
I don't know why I had to say type thing, but I just, because sometimes a hospital isn't always the same thing as a clinic, so.
The staff at St. John's had been alerted of the approaching threat. Nurse Kevin...
I'd imagine that they would have all the necessary things to be able to circumvent that, or at least be able to treat people's injuries, but...
Kepley was on the 7th and top floor of the St. John's Medical Center as the tornado hit.
Oh no, and of course, you always got to get to the lowest level.
Kepley stated this: "It was like it was midnight," he said. "So we started taking cover and the windows busted and debris was flying. There were 9 of us in a 2x2 room with the patient trying to keep him safe." Hospital security footage shows that...
Oh my god, and how many... I wonder how many people were on life support at this point in time, only for the tornado to get rid of all of the electricity and stuff. And so all those people that were on those ventilators, if it wasn't the tornado and the debris, it certainly would have been the lack of ventilation.
Dramatic impact the tornado...
It depends on where they would land and whether or not they even survived getting pummeled by debris.
...had inside the hospital.
Gone in seconds. I'm surprised that the footage is even running. That there's even footage at all and it didn't just cut off. Unless they have some sort of auxiliary power that's not connected to like a power grid. There's a guy who holds the world record for traveling in the furthest inside after it sucked him out of his mobile home. Aw. Is he still, I'm assuming that he survived. Oh, and there, now the footage cuts off.
Now, when the tornado struck St. John's Medical Center, it was likely at a high-end EF4 strength, not quite an EF5, but it was still strong enough to twist the foundation several inches of this tower right here.
Oh, man.
There were about 200 people inside the hospital at the time of the tornado.
It's still standing. You got to admire the craftsmanship of the building. I mean, it's a hospital. You have to make sure that it's top of the line in order to keep the people safe.
And 5 from within the building would lose their lives. The 5 fatalities were all caused by their ventilators deactivating.
I figured this would be the case, that the they wouldn't have access to their ventilators.
Due to a power failure.
Yes.
Since the hospital had been destroyed, and you obviously need a hospital in a tragic natural disaster, a makeshift tent
Yeah, they have to, so they have to resort to using backup.
Hospital was installed right here to the east after the tornado.
I guess the whatever backup generators they have wasn't enough to keep the ventilation systems going, and so yeah, that's unfortunate. If it wasn't the tornado itself, it's the equipment.
Since most of the victims of the tornado would need to be airlifted to other surrounding hospitals, 2 helipads were quickly installed near the tent. These helipads eventually were abandoned and still remain a remnant from the disaster to this day.
Oh, damn, so...
In the end, St. John's Medical
Those are
Center was
relics.
demolished and a memorial sits where it once stood. After the event, a new hospital named Mercy was built nearby. At around 5:42, the tornado was beginning to reach peak intensity, with wind speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
Hundreds of homes near St. John Medical Center were completely destroyed. A specific home on South Conner Avenue claimed the life of 9-year-old Zachary Credwell. His home, along with 6 others on that same block, were featured in ABC's Extreme Home Makeover only 5 months after the event.
Really?
Very cool that ABC would do this for all these families. So far, the tornado had already claimed over 20 lives.
I mean, if you're going to lose a 9-year-old to the tornado, then the least that you can do is get a free house that you probably still have to pay taxes on.
It was about to claim 20 more, all within a single location, the Greenbrier Nursing Home located at Gabby Street Boulevard. Peggy Wilson, one of the residents of the Greenbrier Nursing Home, described the scene as absolute chaos. The staff had heard reports of the wall of death rain-wrapped tornado heading towards them, and they ushered all the residents into a central hallway. Peggy Wilson stated this: "We heard the sound and we said, uh-oh, and at about that time, the ceiling fell on us.
Oh, God.
It hit, it took everything down. Pipes, plaster, wood, the ceiling construction, everything. It was awful. Just the sound of it, and there you sit. What could you do? You certainly couldn't run away from it."
This takes I've fallen and I can't get up to a whole nother level.
The Greenbrier Nursing Home had the highest number of deaths of any location during the tornado. Today, all that remains is a dirt foundation and a parking lot.
Not even there anymore.
The tornado was now over 1.5 miles wide and near peak intensity, easily within the EF5 threshold. And unfortunately, it was in many ways just the beginning. Around 5:44, it
And then it's approaching what I'm assuming is some sort of school.
crossed a main street where it took out several small businesses and claimed 2 lives at one of Joplin's Mexican restaurants.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately, coming up within the path of the tornado were even more residential homes, the Joplin High School, and the Baptist Church. Within this area of homes, there were over 300 injuries as well as a dozen fatalities. Along this intersection of East 24th Street and Missouri Avenue, 10 individuals in 5 different homes all lost their lives. But just down the street was Joplin High School.
Yeah. Just the very same place where the graduation, I'm assuming that's where the graduation ceremony took place. Where my graduation took place, the way that we do it is at some place downtown. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah. Matt Suter got carried, and then the wind traveled on the 26th or 2006. I don't know why I read that as the 26th of November, but March 12th. Okay.
Security cameras throughout the school showed the moment of impact.
Just a lone piece of paper flowing on that desk. And then just all the dust and debris getting everywhere. And this is, and are these trees gonna get uprooted? And there goes the trees.
Thankfully, the school was empty at the time, so there were no fatalities.
At least it was already said and done, so nobody was really... Hopefully there weren't any late-night janitors there.
At this location, except for one in the parking lot. In some ways, it's a bit of a close call. Had the tornado occurred on a weekday or at an earlier time,
if it had occurred during that graduation,
these halls would have been filled with students. In fact, how fortunate was it that the graduation ceremonies of Joplin High School weren't actually held at the school?
Okay, I figured that would be the case. For my graduation ceremony, it was somewhere else.
They were held 3 miles north at Missouri Southern State University. If they had held the graduation ceremony at the high school, people would still have been in the process of leaving the event.
Oh my god.
After graduation, you're standing around.
Oh yeah, it happened as they were heading home. The Colvitts on Otis project.
Taking photos, you're talking to people.
That came from...
There would have definitely been a lot of people still there, but thankfully it was just a close call. Just across the street from the high school was Harmony Heights Baptist Church.
Oh no.
While no one was at the high school, unfortunately there was indeed a church service in process at Harmony Heights.
Was this on a Sunday?
50 individuals
or am I mistaken?
within the church were seeking shelter on the floor, in some cases under the pews when the tornado struck.
Oh no, I don't think that's gonna protect them though. If this place had a basement, then they'd be able to make use of that. I mean, the second best place to take cover in is a bathroom because of the plumbing, but would the bathrooms have been would the bathrooms have been big enough to carry a lot of people?
Pastor described the scene as a freight train mixed with a jet engine.
Yeah.
In the end, nothing remained of the church. Rumble surrounded the building. Of the 50 churchgoers, 3 would pass away.
Oh.
The tornado then continued into even more residential areas. Here at the intersection of Connecticut Avenue and East 20th lies a sprawling apartment complex that took a direct hit. Surprisingly, not many apartment buildings were actually hit by this tornado, but there was this specific one where 8 people lost their lives. It was now 5:45 and the tornado was at its peak width of 1¼ mile wide. Unfortunately, up ahead of its path was the heavily trafficked, very busy Rangeline Road, the commercial business district of Joplin. This is where you had all your restaurants, all your shopping.
Okay, so like strip malls and the things of that nature. No, if that... Imagine all of the people and businesses right in the direct line of sight.
Outlet malls. This in some ways was the busiest part of Joplin, and the tornado was heading straight towards it, situated on Rangeline Road.
Oh, and is this moments before it happened, or is this unrelated footage? You guys remember Payless Shoes?
A couple of storm chasers who were able to capture the rain-wrapped tornado heading towards them.
Okay.
Storm chaser Rich Hamill, along with 4 other storm chasers as part of the Silver Linings storm chasing tour, were stuck at a red light in front of a Payless shoe store approximately here. They were behind.
If there was a tornado on the way, I'm pretty sure red lights are invalid.
And another Silver Linings storm chasing van that was communicating via walkie-talkie. As reports of the tornado began coming in, several members of the group began filming the ominous horizon.
We're gonna keep going south. We're gonna get out of the way of this thing.
Oh, that would have been good if we were on the hill then.
That's a rotation. A couple just off to the southwest here.
And now you can show us.
Get the light to turn so I can get the...
Oh, so I just saw that big power flash?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay, it is. I feel, yeah, he confirmed, yeah, Swegel confirmed it. Drones can survive in tornadoes, can they? I mean, I imagine that they would be able to, since it's just like, yeah.
Straight through those trees. That's a big power flash. There could be lightning.
Yeah, you could see the trees sway.
It's too low to be lightning.
The light's very, very low. Oh my god, that's power flashes. Oh, lots of power flashes. Like power flashes. We need to get out of this town. Holy Jesus. Wow.
That must be the that must be the tornado itself.
My goodness. We're in the firing line. It's right there. Oh.
No, y'all gotta get out of there.
It is. Oh my god. Oh, look at the power flashes. That's 135. Please, lift. Lift for Christ's sake. The traffic lights are off.
Yeah, if it's over a mile wide, then...
Lost power on the city now. Lift. Oh my god.
It's a lot bigger than you might think.
Where?
These videos have always captured my fascination, and I've talked about them several other times on this channel before, but they really do an excellent job of painting the horrific scene and terrifying vibe of an approaching tornado. They almost have like a Cloverfield vibe to them. At first, they don't see the tornado. They only hear reports and see a dark wall of clouds.
That's how it starts. You just hear about it, and then you think that you don't see it quite yet, and then it hits you like a literal freight train.
But at one point of the video, the massive wedge appears and they quickly come to terms with their current situation.
Yeah.
Right behind us.
Oh my god.
Oh no. Yeah. Jesus. Oh my god.
You either gotta get away from there or you gotta take shelter.
Oh shit.
Let me just pass it.
There it is. It's hard to see, but you can see the cloud right there.
Go, just go. Oh, no, alright, it's behind him.
It's right there.
Keep going.
Yeah, you can see this little wall cloud right there. It's very faint, but yeah, right there.
This is bad, really bad. Jesus. This is a monster, this. Oh my god. Oh, it is right there. I feel sick right now. Very sick. Jesus Christ. Oh, no, no. God,
Yeah, and it's heading, and I'm guessing it's heading right for them.
Oh, there goes down.
You should probably go into, well, I don't know if you'd want to hide in that Lowe's. Because seeing as you enter one of these large stores like this, and then the bathrooms are at like the other side of the building, so you wouldn't be able to get there in time.
Oh, my God. You guys see it back there? Yes, it's a monster. It's huge.
Definitely some incredible footage, especially when you see the power start to go out in the buildings. Absolutely insane. Thankfully, they were able to barely escape and get onto the interstate.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Range line looked like before the tornado in the video, and this is the exact same area right afterwards. If they were there for only a couple minutes longer, they could have been seriously injured or worse. In fact, at one
point, they could have met the fate of that other guy.
In the video, one of the individuals in the group suggests potentially seeking shelter at the Home Depot situated here.
What about that Home Depot? Would that be a bad spot, or I don't know? That's all I see. What's mine?
It's a good thing they didn't, as the tornado was approaching the businesses on Range Line. Dennis Osborne was taking care of a few errands with one of his friends. While at Home Depot, Dennis saw the approaching storm, recognized the threat, and began helping as many people as he could. He ushered the people inside and told them to get to the back of the store. He then ran back outside into the parking lot to yell at people to get inside. Dozens of people—
oh no, did something happen to him?
—who would have been caught out in the parking lot in the tornado, who were unaware of the approaching threat, were saved due to Osborne's warning. Unfortunately, Osborne himself didn't seek shelter in time.
Okay, so he did.
He sacrificed himself trying to save as many people as he could before the tornado hit. Osborne was a veteran and continues to be a legend. May he rest in peace. Overall, there were 6 fatalities at the Joplin Home Depot that day, most of them in the parking lot. Another tale of heroism occurred across the road at a nearby Pizza Hut. The manager, Christopher Lucas, herded 20 people inside the restaurant's walk-in freezer. Unfortunately, the—
ooh, is a walk-in freezer a good place to hide?
Door was not closing to the freezer, and one by one, people were essentially getting sucked out into the tornado.
Oh god. I guess it's not as safe as it could be. No. We're always taught to hide in bathrooms and in basements.
After 3 people had perished this way, Christopher grabbed a bungee cord, attached it to the inside of the door handle, and pulled with all his might to keep the door closed.
Oh man.
And held onto by 2 other employees. Unfortunately, the tornado was too strong, and Christopher also got sucked into the tornado and perished.
Son of a bitch.
But his heroic action and his sacrifice for being the closest to the freezer door will never be forgotten by those 16 others who survived inside the freezer. A similar story occurred at AT&T, where a store employee, Cheryl Shan Miguel, died while protecting 10 people while holding a bathroom door closed.
Son of a bitch. So even then, even in one of the safer rooms.
The story of the Joplin tornado is full of heroic acts. Joplin is a Bible Belt city. This is a very Christian part of the country. So there's a—
you got a walk-in freezer. Yeah, we had a walk-in freezer.
A lot of good people in Joplin doing sacrificial things. After the tornado tore through—
well, actually, that makes sense. That could basically make them borderline martyrs.
Through Range Line Road, they headed toward the East Joplin Middle School, where security—
another school.
Cameras again captured the carnage.
And you can see the swirling there. No, you can see the swirl. It might even be like one of those satellite tornadoes then. And then the light, that looks like a light fixture. And the glass shattering. And this looks like a theater. They're from hiding from nukes.
There was some good news though. The tornado was finally beginning to weaken, but it still continued to tear through many residential areas, claiming more lives in the process. At this point, it started shifting to the right to the southeast towards Interstate 44. Injuries. In fact, nobody, at least that I could find, died on the interstate during the event.
At least everyone got the memo then.
After passing over the interstate, the tornado began to weaken rapidly, all the way down to an EF1. It tracked for a while over the countryside, but dissipated shortly after. The Joplin tornado nightmare was finally over.
And of course, it only dissipates when it's in the middle of nowhere.
If there's one word to describe the residents of Joplin's reaction shortly after the tornado, that word is disbelief. They thought they were just going to encounter another typical afternoon thunderstorm. But no, their lives and their city would never be the same. One of the best reaction videos I could find shortly after the tornado comes from a video posted by Phaedra driving down Rangeline Road just after the event. She has local news on the radio, so we can also hear the media's immediate reaction. And she's
all of the devastation.
Actually driving the opposite direction of the Silver Linings tour.
And it's still raining. Even after the worst of the worst, you'll still have little lingering remnants.
The damage is unbelievable. The scope of the tornado is still unknown at this point, but we continue to monitor the situation and continue to try to get reports as fast as we possibly can. But once again, Rangeland Road, complete devastation. This is going to be a long recovery process for the city of Joplin.
I bet it will be.
Back from the rubble, and still waiting to hear possible injuries and the possible loss of life. But this is going to be a dangerous scenario. That's why we encourage you to stay off of the roads. Plant emergency management, do their job. Let them take care of what needs to be taken care of, because there are many people who are in desperate need of help at this hour.
What's interesting is they have...
It all started raining. Uh-oh. No, that's the thing. You have a major storm, as bad as that one. What's left of it is a little bit of rain, and then you see this little... You see the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak.
No idea, absolutely no idea how bad the situation actually is. In fact, they see some minor damage, like very light damage at first, and they make a big deal out of it because they have no idea what's coming.
Oh. Oh, is it people from, like, outside of the town? And as you get closer and closer to where it all happened, only then do you realize what really happened behind the scenes.
Soon, though, they realize a large part of the city had been completely destroyed.
Oh my god. No, not my breakfast place.
We were driving into it. We couldn't even see anything because it was so bad. Look over here. Look. Over there. I can't see. It's all flat. Everything is flat, Mom. Oh my god. That one. Grandma's gone. Everything's gone over here.
It sounds like that he was praying for rain. Yep. Just a light shower. You wouldn't even know what would happen until you actually see the rubble. Have you been needing rain in your area?
It is insane. At the cow. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is horrible. It's completely flattened over here. It's crazy.
And damn, look at all that. You probably couldn't even tell what that used to be. There's so much miscellaneous debris.
The Joplin tornado quickly went from local news to statewide news, all the way to national news, all within a few hours.
Yeah. No, I remember seeing all of those headlines, or at least I remember seeing the Weather Channel's coverage for it.
All being hit. This is a major situation. We're gonna...
Devastation in Joplin, Missouri on an almost unimaginable scale. Homes obliterated. Cars piled up like toys.
Jay Nixon has sent a search and rescue team to Joplin, where a tornado killed at least 89 people last night. Jennifer...
Every major news station sent journalists out to cover the damage. Now, since Mike Bettis happened to already be in the area during the tornado, the Weather Channel was extremely quick to go live and cover the event.
Yeah, they were right there on the scene.
Mike Bettis was located near St. John's Medical Center, and for obvious reasons, was incredibly choked up after the event.
When you see what's happened here, Paul, I mean, take a look. I mean,
see the brick. Yeah.
It's everything. It's just completely demolished. I mean, homes are destroyed. Families' lives have just been turned upside down at this point. And people are just looking for their loved ones. They're looking for family members. If you take a look here at this neighborhood, all I can say is
there's nothing there.
It looks very reminiscent of what we saw last month in... Excuse me.
Oh, man, you can hear the heartbreak in his voice.
In Tuscaloosa.
Oh, my God. Damn, bro. Give that man a raise.
Mike, are you all right? You're seeing some...
Oh my God, no, it's making me terrible.
Just terrible things, I'm sure, and I know you were there just moments after the tornado hit.
Now remember, the 2011 super outbreak from less than a month ago.
Yeah, this was a huge outbreak that happened.
Was still on the minds of many. That was a tragic event that claimed over 360 lives. In fact, just a couple days before the Joplin tornado, Reed Timmer himself was discussing the Dixie Alley super outbreak with Jay Leno on The Tonight Show. In the end, 75% of the city was affected in some way, with 25% being completely destroyed. 8,000 homes were damaged, with about half of them being completely destroyed. About 500 commercial buildings were destroyed as well. Overall, the cost of the tornado was $2.8 billion, about $3.8 billion in 2025. Overall, there were 158 direct fatalities, making it the deadliest tornado.
Oh, you've been getting a lot of droughts. Well, at least you're finally getting some rain.
Event since the Woodward, Oklahoma F5 in 1947, which had 181 deaths. On top of the 158 direct fatalities, there were several indirect fatalities. A lightning strike claimed the life of a man shortly after the tornado, and in the weeks after the event, 18 people suffered from a fungal infection known as mucormycosis.
Oh, Lord have mercy. As if the tornado itself wasn't already enough.
This specific type of fungus can be found in the soil, and it spreads in the air as little spores. So people,
oh Lord have mercy,
you know, they were in a destroyed wasteland. Dirt was everywhere. There was no sanitation systems installed. They had all been destroyed. So people were at risk of catching this rare fungal disease. They could have either breathed it in, or if they had open wounds, that soil could have gotten into that open wound. In the end, 5 people would lose their life in Joplin from this fungal infection. Following the disaster, Governor Jay Nixon declared a state of emergency for the city of Joplin and the surrounding areas. Missouri National Guard troops entered the city and began helping out with recovery and cleanup. One interesting piece of lore were the 2 elephants that were used to help remove debris during cleanup.
Really? There were elephants that they... Okay, that's definitely some lore. I wasn't expecting them to have elephants help out.
Yep. A circus was scheduled to take place in Joplin that next week.
Oh, it was for us. And then the fungus nation attacked. Yes, only the... I don't know what you would use the master of all 6 kingdoms of life could stop them. But when the world needed him most, he vanished. And then it was an Archaea bender named Dang.
And obviously, they had to cancel, but they still wanted to help out in some way. So they used the 2 elephants to remove debris.
Trash and cars and my goodness, what a mess.
I don't usually like to use this word, but based elephants.
There were actually people out there protesting the circus, saying you shouldn't be using the elephants for that. But then I
Oh, of course. I mean, I
think there were more people there saying we need all the help we can get, and you know they're trained.
Elephant says,
very smart.
That thing.
That's amazing.
No, it's an elephant, right? They're already naturally very strong. I mean, they say an elephant never forgets, and I'm sure they wouldn't forget something like this.
President Obama visited Joplin and met with the survivors. In fact, 1 year later, in May of 2012, Obama gave the commencement address at the Joplin class of 2012 graduation ceremony. Now, I'm not a political channel at all, but no matter your politics, I highly recommend listening to this commencement address. It's very well done and it's very moving. The butterfly has become a bit of a symbol for the city of Joplin. If you visit, you will see butterfly sculptures
like the butterfly effect
all over the place.
Because a butterfly's wings can cause a tornado on the other side of the world.
And of course, this wouldn't be a proper Joplin documentary without mentioning the mythical butterfly angels.
Okay, and here's the real lore that we all came to listen to.
Many survivors of the tornado claim to have witnessed strange butterfly alien angel figures who either rescued various individuals in some way or ushered their souls up into heaven.
In this damaged building, Emily says she felt a calming presence.
I remember on the shoulder, a hand touched me like right here, and they told me everything.
Thanks, so easy.
It's actually really weird, but ever since...
I mean, they did mention this being part of the Bible Belt, so I bet the spiritual... I can feel a lot of spiritual energy coming from this direction.
Then I'll be walking outside, and a butterfly will come and land on me.
Actually land on you?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of these stories come specifically from children. In fact, apparently it was pretty common after the event for children in Joplin to draw these strange creatures at school or at home.
Yeah.
Pretty weird. Now, obviously,
it's always the kiddies.
The situation with
Mothman.
It's incredibly traumatic, especially for a child. So, who knows exactly?
Yeah, it could be a coping mechanism, or it could be they were touched by an angel.
Exactly what kind of tricks a mind can play on someone who is going through something like that. But still, it's
probably both.
Interesting piece of lore. Let me know your thoughts on these strange sightings. Well, that concludes the story of the infamous and horrific 2011 Joplin event.
And of course, some places were on fire.
Tornado. A truly worst-case tornado scenario, and one that we hopefully will not see for a long time. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Also, if you're...
All right, and thank you for the video. That was insane. No, the emotions were running wild there. Oh, Lord have mercy. Lamp. Yep. All right, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Yes, we're going to keep looking at tornadoes. We're gonna look at more twisters. You said it was Dead Man Tornado or something like that. See if I can look for that real quick. Yeah, Dead Man Tornado Walking. The science. Oh, one of these types of tornadoes. Yes, these are like. I can't remember what this type of tornado is called. I know that there's a name for this type where it's one multi-vortex. Yeah, this is like a multi-vortex tornado. There's like, I have to remember the difference. There's like multi-vortex and there's satellite tornadoes. Okay. Yeah, this was the one that you were talking about earlier. This is the science of the Dead Man Walking Tornado of Jarrell, the worst F5 tornado in history.
Dead Man Walking, the most iconic lure in tornado history, while potentially the most chilling observed tornado phenomena. The science behind it and deep-rooted origin makes it far more interesting than just pareidolia.
Yeah, pareidolia is where you see things that aren't necessarily there. It's like when you see faces in like various objects, because there's a part of our brain that is specifically designed to recognize faces.
Pareidolia is the psychological term for perceiving likeness on random, unrelated objects. Common examples that folks experience are the man in the moon or
the man on the moon, or in East Asia, it's the rabbit on the moon pounding rice cakes.
Seeing different shapes of animals in the clouds.
Yeah.
The most famous example.
Those are propane tanks, and those other things are propane accessories.
Example of the Dead Man Walking pareidolia is this iconic image
It definitely looks like someone that's walking.
The Gerald, Texas F5, taken by Scott Beckwith. In the image, many people make out the two legs of a figure walking in stride, while some further seeing the upper half carrying a scythe.
Oh, I didn't notice the scythe. I noticed the legs, but
Iconic tool
not the scythe.
wielded by the Grim Reaper.
I mean, it makes sense, given that if this was an F5 tornado, I'm guessing this was back before it became the EF scale.
While it is interesting to see how the human mind can give meaning to random images, what exactly is the dead man walking that we're seeing? Most people, when picturing a tornado in their mind, visualize a singular funnel reaching the ground.
Weather Woman multi-vortex.
However, tornadoes come in a variety of different shapes and sizes.
Yeah, they're not all uniform.
And will often change shapes throughout their lifespan.
Yeah.
At peak
Lilu multipass.
intensity, the Gerald F5 tornado was a stout stovepipe structure resembling that of a wood stove exhaust.
Okay, so so that's how it started out.
But before that, when it was just getting going,
that was during its peak.
It looked more of a needle or.
No, that's how it starts. You think that, it's just gonna be this tiny little thing that's probably only got like what, 100 miles per hour at most. It'll do some damage, but not that much. And then it grows into something more powerful than it already was.
A very thin rope-like tornado. To get from here to there, it had to go through an intensification that would take it into a multi-vortex structure. While
yeah, here we go.
The dead man walking is most commonly associated with the famous Gerald image, it has also been tied to other multi-vortex structure tornadoes in the years since Gerald. Now, multi-vortex tornadoes are not multiple individual tornadoes, but
yeah, it's just one with multiple ends.
Rather subvortices
within
a parent circulation.
And this is not to be confused with satellite tornadoes, where there's like one large one, and then there's a bunch of smaller ones that surround it.
Let's take a closer look at that. To form these subvortices, there is a breakdown of the original vortex. At first,
I need to do this at some point.
The tornado is purely a result of the updraft of the parent supercell thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Air is rushing inward to fill the gap left behind by the air that is rapidly rising. If the vortex continues to strengthen, the pressure at the surface becomes low enough to introduce a downdraft in the core of the tornado. This is a breakdown bubble. The bubble will widen out the tornado as the downdraft,
if you ever wanted to learn the science of how tornadoes form,
occupies the center of the vortex. When it reaches the ground level, multiple areas of convergence form between the central downdraft and the outer updraft, spooling up subvortices as they rotate about the axis of the parent vortex. Particularly with stronger tornadoes, sometimes the multi-vortex structure can occur almost immediately. Here is a multi-vortex tornado shot by my friend Kelton earlier this year.
There it is. You can see 3 distinct clouds, or
These
3 distinct
subvortices
things.
are much more powerful than the parent circulation. As they orbit about the main vortex, they'll move.
Yeah, like that. Those are the little, that's the main one, and then these are the satellites.
With great forward speed as the motion of the tornado and the rotational speed of the center slingshot the subvortex. Meanwhile, the subvortex on the opposite side nearly comes to a ground relative standstill as the rotational and forward velocities combat each other. Subvortices are often responsible for inconceivable damage patterns, like where one house is flattened while the neighbor's house next door is still standing.
Damn, and then that guy's just casually talking on his phone.
When the Gerald F5 matured past its multi-vortex structure into a stovepipe, there's a lot going into the strengthening of that tornado that we cannot fully see. Thankfully, thanks to high-resolution supercomputer simulations of...
And this is what if you wanted to see what a side profile of a supercell looks like, you have the anvil clouds and all the other things that come with it.
Tornado-producing supercells, we have a better understanding of how tornadoes can be strengthened through vorticity aggregation or vortex merging. Along the forward flank of a supercell, there is something called the streamwise vorticity current, or the SVC, where vortices are...
Yes, okay, now I remember this. They start spinning horizontally, and then over time it becomes vertical.
Are constantly being entrained. Eventually, as the updraft gets stronger and deeper to the ground, the pressure drop follows with it, and then ultimately we get a tornado thanks to the aggregation of those vortices. But even once the tornado is ongoing, there are still vortices that are being entrained in that SVC that continue to add and strengthen the tornado as it continues through its life cycle. Most of the time in the real world, we cannot see these additional vortices as they are not strong enough to condense water vapor or are simply hidden within the chaos of the forward flank.
Yeah, like when it comes to like actually seeing the tornado, the only reason that you're able to see it is because it's picking up dust. But if it's like too small or too weak, then you're not going to be able to notice it.
While the dead man walking is certainly a frightening appearance thanks to how the human mind perceives its surroundings, ultimately there is much more that goes into the tornado vortex than what we simply picture in our minds. Making up that parent vortex are just a bunch of other smaller vortices that have been aggregated over time, which is pretty fascinating if you ask me.
Yeah.
Now taking this in a completely different direction, we have to talk about the phrase dead man walking.
Let's go.
Where does this come from? In a 1999 TLC documentary on the Gerald event, the narrator claims that this is a Native American legend.
I see. I'm sure they have plenty of legends associated with tornadoes in the same way that the Middle East associates dust devils with jinn.
Quote, an ancient Native American legend speaks of the dead man walking. If you see him in a tornado, you are about to die. The townsfolk of Gerald can now see the arms and legs of the multi-vortex tornado approaching. The dead man has just walked into Gerald.
I see. So given that they've been in the Americas for thousands of years, they would be very privy to how tornadoes probably work. And so if it starts out with that multi-vortex structure, you could assume that it'll just get stronger.
An ancient Native American legend, though, is pretty vague. I'm no history major or anything like that, but I do know that Native Americans are very diverse and there are dozens of tribes that have spanned hundreds of years of history.
Right.
So this is just a non-answer as far as I'm concerned as to where the origin of dead man walking comes from. In an attempt to cross-reference this claim, I've ultimately found that it's apparently pretty controversial.
Oh, so we don't even know if it's there.
After several hours of digging online, I was only able to find a single source that pointed...
Yes, a citizen of the Cherokee Nation is a photographer and tornado chaser. He says some tribal elders would refer to tornadoes in their language as dead man walking.
To the origin being within the Cherokee...
So it's more of an epithet than anything.
...nation. However, this was only cited in 2022.
Okay, so it's too recent to really say for sure.
This is well after 1997. and that 1999 documentary. So this phrase associated with the tornado has been in circulation on the internet for quite some time. So I want something else that I can cross-reference that predates 1999 or 1997. The earliest publication that I could find with the phrase dead man walking was in 1861, and it was a completely unrelated context from weather.
I figured.
Additionally, any references of dead man walking that I could find up until 1999 had no at all correlation to tornadoes. Interesting.
So it's just... I'm not exactly sure how to interpret that.
A year and a half before the Gerald event was the release of the award-winning blockbuster movie Dead Man Walking.
Oh, so I'm guessing there was just some association.
Now, while this movie was about a man on death row and his spiritual advisor, completely unrelated to weather, that phrase has now entered the minds of people.
Oh, so it's just a pop culture thing.
And if we cross-reference with the Google Ngram tool, the phrase dead man walking skyrockets after 1995.
When was Google even made?
So here is my theory. Granted, it's a little bit far-fetched, but I think it's plausible given the lack of evidence. In 1995, you have the release of the movie Dead Man Walking. And that phrase gets implanted in the subconscious as it's a major motion picture that many people see. A year and a half later, the Gerald event happens, and not long after that, the making of this documentary starts. The creators of this documentary come across this image and the pareidolia effect kicks in.
I figured.
And they make out a shadowy figure walking in this tornado. Next thing you know, in the spider web of a creative individual's mind, they connect deadly tornado, dead man walking, and then all of a sudden they put together dead man walking and associate it with this tornado image.
Okay, so it's just an example of an overly active imagination.
And a little bit of creative writing later, you craft it into this Native American folklore story that you can make the documentary more entertaining with.
Only to find that Native American... I don't know if... I mean... I don't know.
This is
I was going to say, I don't know that much about Native American folklore to know how they perceive tornadoes. So.
Obviously getting borderline conspiratorial, but we know TV can be not necessarily the most truthful thing sometimes.
But they can't put stuff on TV that isn't true.
And in the internet age, people just kind of take it at face value.
People still do that today.
People just run with it. And it kind of just gets implanted in the minds of everyone down the line.
Now you'll have a semi-major news publication or some Twitter freak slandering somebody, and then the dick writers will just take it as fact without even bothering to question it.
And here we are, just reiterating the fact that it's a Native American legend. I will admit that more research needs to be done into this topic. There probably is stuff that is obviously not on the internet that needs to be dived into further to really get to the bottom of the answer to this. But honestly, a theory like what I just proposed isn't completely out of the realm of possibilities. It could just be coincidences lining up, but at the same time too, I wouldn't put it past TV writers to do something like that. At the end of the day,
I mean, they do it all the time, so...
I'm an engineer by training, not a historian, so this is well outside of my realm of expertise. So if you have any sources or anything that might point to a more definitive answer as to the origin of the Dead Man Walking story, I would love to hear about it in the comments below.
Oops, one moment. Hasn't done that in a while. Okay, here we go.
I think it's safe to say I'm much better off talking about vortex dynamics than I am Native American history.
I bet you and me both, huh?
As always, everyone, stay safe out there when it comes to severe weather.
Yep, y'all should be able to do that as well. All right. Did anyone else have any other random, brief, tornado-related things that they wanted to take a look at? Yeah, you got... It's about dust storms. Okay, I guess we're going to make this a weather-themed stream, which we need to do... We should probably do more about... We should do more themed streams where we just look at a where we do a deep dive in a particular topic and just spend the stream doing that. I bet that would be a lot of fun. If we want to keep looking at weather-related stuff. Well, if you've got a dust storm video, feel free to let me know. No, I'm down for it. I mean, I had some other things off to the side. I wanted to take a look at the TikToker legally seizing land in Switzerland as a king. Alright, the insane electrical dust storm. Wait, I think have we seen that one before? His latest video is about purple lightning. Oh, this was that video. I think this was the El Reno tornado video. Because I remember us looking at that video in particular. No, wait, no it wasn't. That was something else that I watched on my own. I can't remember what the name of that video we took. I know it was about the El Reno tornado, or maybe I was thinking of it. I think I'm thinking of a different YouTuber. Okay, here. The insane electrified dust storm of 1835. Alright, as recommended by Jackal.
A few 100,000 years ago during the Ice Age, insane apocalyptic dust storms were the norm.
I bet they were.
During this period, the Earth had an incredibly dry atmosphere due to moisture being locked up in large sheets of ice.
And you said it was 100,000 years ago? That was when humanity was still residing predominantly in Ethiopia, but in recent decades we found evidence of human activity outside of Ethiopia, like in places like Morocco and in the Levant, and even in Greece.
For this reason, during the late winter and early spring months, strong winds would often loft huge amounts.
1830. Wait. Don't. Did I say 1835? Did I do it again, or are you gaslighting me like a bitch? God damn it. 1935. I was making Apple Brown Betty from 1976 till 1796.
Of dirt, sand, and dust high into the atmosphere, creating massive black walls of death.
Yeah, and most of us were still in Ethiopia during that time. I'm not dyslexic.
Dust tsunamis would then engulf huge sections of both Europe.
I know sometimes I have trouble reading out loud, but I'm not. I'm usually very careful with how I read things.
And North America. They were nothing like your modern dust storm. No. These paleo dust storms were insane. They weren't just comprised of blowing dust and dirt. No, the air was so dry and the winds were so intense that these dust storms would actually produce large amounts of static electricity.
That makes sense, since I mean lightning already clouds already have a lot of dust within them. I mean, not as much as like a dust storm, but it's obviously a regular dust storm having lightning is not at all outside the realm of possibility.
A very rare phenomenon known as dust lightning.
But apparently it's rare, so.
Oh, and on top of that, these apocalyptic dust storms would also feature swarms of internal dust devils.
I bet they would.
We're talking swarms of tornadoes inside these massive black walls of death.
Yep.
Now, thankfully, like I said, these sort of doomsday dust storms don't happen today.
Or so we thought.
Right?
What a twist, as M. Night Shyamalan on Robot Chicken would say.
Well, actually, if all the right ingredients come together, they can occur. The most prominent example happening on April 14th, 1935, when extreme temperatures, horrific drought conditions, and improper farming techniques all came together to create the perfect storm. What many today refer to as Black Sun.
Oh, I remember seeing this picture before.
Or simply the Black Blizzard.
Black Blizzard.
The Black Blizzard dust storm is one of the most historic weather events in U.S. history, and nothing quite like it has really happened since. There had been bad dust storms before the Black
This is the first time in 100,000 years.
Blizzard, but this particular event was on an entirely different level. The cloud was so thick it blocked out all the light from the sun.
Oh my god, and I'm guessing those are supposed to be like headlights?
Making it darker than the darkest night.
Damn, that's crazy.
The thing was black. You couldn't hardly see your hand before your face.
The cloud was so massive that it could be seen from dozens of miles away, and its contents were so toxic that if you were unfortunate enough to be caught out in it, you could hardly breathe.
We were so short on oxygen we could hardly stand up.
That's damn. No, that actually reminds me of this one lake. There's this lake somewhere in South America. It's some geothermal lake that every now and then the lake would kind of explode and spew carbon dioxide everywhere, and any like animal around its vicinity would end up dying of asphyxiation. I don't remember where this lake is or what it's called, but I do vaguely remember it being somewhere in South America.
Conditions were so dry and windy that, similar to the apocalyptic dust storms of the Ice Age, large electrical discharges, aka dust lightning, occurred.
Sit down on the ground to examine the plants. They were brown. They had been electrocuted. They were dead.
Today we're doing a deep dive into this event, featuring real footage and interviews. We'll also be discussing more modern events, such as the 1983 Great Melbourne Dust Storm.
It didn't even hear.
Estimated that the storm dumped 1,000 tons of dust on Melbourne. Another 50,000 tons of dust passed over the city in the time it took the storm to clear the city area.
And whether or not these perfect apocalyptic dust storms will become more common in the future.
No, it wasn't. I said South America. Yellowstone's in North America.
But before we get to that, this video is sponsored by Chime.
Chime. I have a Chime account, but I don't use it.
Sounds like there's some sort of catch, but no, there's no. 14th, 7 a.m., Boise City, Oklahoma.
And once again, this is how it usually starts. It starts out as a nice day, and then bam, it all just comes crashing down.
The Phillips family, Ed.
I wonder if there's a correlation. Like, I do know that one storm predicting technique is looking at the color of the sky and the cloud cover, depending on the time of day. Like, if you see like reddish skies with scattered clouds in the morning, then it usually indicates that there's going to be a storm. But if you see that same type of sky in the evening, then it means it's going to be nicer the next day.
Ada and their 6-year-old daughter, Norma, had just woken up for the day. As they were eating breakfast, the father, Ed, noted just how sunny it was outside. The sky was perfectly clear. There was no humidity, no moisture, no clouds, just a clear, deep blue sky. It was also Palm Sunday, so the family headed off to church.
Oh.
After the church service, many families skipped their usual post-church chats to quickly head home. You see, the temperature was quite hot outside.
Oh yeah, I'd imagine wanting to go home if the temperature was that bad.
We're talking around 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's pretty high.
Pretty hot for April 14th. The Phillips
April even.
family also headed home to eat lunch.
Well, where is this again?
And find comfort in the shade. After successfully completing their Sunday chores, the Phillips family decided to head into town to run some errands. They hopped into the family car and began driving.
From Hong Kong?
The vibes outside were actually a bit eerie. The weather was still very hot and the sky was extremely sunny, but there was no wind.
No wind.
And everything in general.
But there were horses.
General was very calm. Perhaps too calm.
It's quiet. Too quiet.
We're driving down the highway. Ed noticed something off in the distance.
Oh, and here it comes.
A small black line was faintly visible on the northern horizon.
Oh, jeez, that's... No, those look like freaking... They look like forests off in the distance, almost like forests on mountains.
Even though it was far away, Ed recognized the line immediately. It was an approaching dust storm. At first, he wasn't too worried. The Phillips family had become used to dust storms. They were somewhat common over the U.S. high plains throughout the 1930s. This was during a time known as the Dust Bowl. Extreme drought conditions mixed.
Oh yeah, I know about the Dust Bowl. I don't want to hear any talk about roses unless we're talking about the Rose Bowl.
With soil erosion from bad farming techniques often caused an occasional dust storm to roll through.
What kind of farming techniques were they trying to employ?
Usually these dust storms would momentarily block out the sun and cause a little throat irritation, but overall they were rarely.
Yeah, it's just a little cough. It's not that big deal.
A major problem. But this dust storm would be different. the Phillips family pulled into a parking spot at the local general store. Ed got out and noticed that the large dust cloud was getting closer and closer.
Oh, damn.
There were also flocks of birds flying away in the opposite direction.
Well, at least the birds know what they're doing.
What do they know that we don't?
the idea about animals detecting earthquakes before we do.
While they had seen many dust storms before, this particular storm seemed larger and more menacing than anything they had ever seen. The Phillips family then went into the store and began shopping for their weekly provisions. As they left the store, Ed checked on the progression of the approaching dust storm. Right away, he knew it could be a problem. The storm now looked like a massive tsunami of dirt, and it was rapidly approaching them. Their 6-year-old daughter...
You'd think that it looks so far away, but then by the time you know it, it's already here.
Norma was understandably freaking out. The Phillips family quickly got into their car to try and outrun this rolling cloud of death.
And it just kept coming, didn't it?
Heading down the highway, the storm was getting closer and closer until it was just about to swallow up their car. Ed panicked and tried to find a solution, a shelter of sorts. Just then, on the side of the road, he noticed an old abandoned adobe hut. He drove into the ditch, grabbed Ada and Norma's hands, and started trekking towards the hut. But it was too late.
Oh no. It must have been heavy.
The dust storm had completely swallowed up the family.
They couldn't see each other, couldn't they?
Extreme 60-plus-mile-per-hour winds were causing sand to blow all around into their mouths, pelting their skin. Breathing was nearly impossible. The hot temps were no more. In only a matter of minutes, the temperature had dropped 40 degrees.
Jeez, there was even a wild temperature shift. It went from 90 to 50.
The car's headlights vanished into the pitch black. But just ahead, he could still barely make out the shelter. He grabbed his family, and they made their way to the door. Finally, he opened it, and the family practically collapsed into the shelter.
Jeez.
Once they closed the door, though, they were surprised to find 10 other people were already seeking shelter in the same adobe hut.
Oh, damn. At least they weren't alone. Knocking the rocks off of you.
The 12 occupants ended up sheltering in the small hut for 4 dark hours. Winds were howling, and occasional lightning strikes would flash through the cracks, followed by thunder.
At least they found shelter.
Some were fearing that they would get stuck if enough sand built up to block the door. But thankfully, around 9:30 p.m., the winds died down and the ordeal was over. These people had just survived the terrifying Black Blizzard, the worst dust storm in U.S. history. And by the way, this dust storm didn't just impact Boise City, Oklahoma.
Okay, this was in Oklahoma.
No, it took out a huge section of the entire U.S. plains. But the central U.S. was completely blanketed by this storm, from Nebraska all the way down to Texas. Songs were literally written about
it's so long. It's been good to know you.
This event. That's how impactful it was.
That's insane.
But how did this monster dust storm of the century?
We need to start making songs about other natural disasters then.
Form. Well, to find out what happened, we need to rewind to the day before, Saturday, April 13th. On this day, there was a high-pressure region over the upper plains, South Dakota, North Dakota, and Wyoming. With this high pressure came high temperatures. And again, remember, this was during a time of historic drought. This area had been in a drought for 4 years. And this is very important, let me say this real quick, this entire region used to be prairie for thousands of years. Okay.
Yep, and then he mentioned improper farming techniques.
Think about that. So prairie grasses would grip onto the top of the soil and hold everything into place, preventing erosion. But in the 1920s and the 1930s, homesteaders and farmers came into the region and destroyed the prairies to plant various crops.
And I guess those crops weren't that good for the landscape.
And in 1913, my brother and I bought this ranch, and for several years we had a very fine condition. But the farmers came here in the 20s, long about, I'd say about 27 or 28, and they began to buy this land and break it up and plant it into cropping corn.
The soil that
I see. So the people that were living there already knew that whatever the heck they were trying to grow here wasn't cutting it.
Had been held together by various prairie grasses for 1,000 years was now loose. So you have very dry conditions and a lot of loose soil. These together became 2 important ingredients for a dust disaster. The only ingredient that was missing was wind.
Yep.
Well, that was about to change. By Sunday, the warm air had spread all the way down to Texas, but there was trouble on the horizon. A strong cold front was quickly moving into the region from the north.
That explains the temperature drop.
This strong cold front brought with it strong winds, and these winds began to pick up loose soil in southern South Dakota around 7 a.m. in the morning. The front then continued to head south into Nebraska.
Because one of the reasons it's called a cold front is that behind it, the temperatures drop significantly.
During the beginnings of this front,
I remember witnessing, not necessarily significantly, but they dropped quite a bit, and that's something that even I've noticed myself. There will be a warm front that sweeps through. It's nice and warm, and then the cold front happens, and then the temperature goes back down.
It was mostly just loose dirt in the air, nothing major, but by 10 a.m., several more organized clusters of dirt began to develop over central
lizard keeps pressing the
western
button.
Nebraska. As the front moved over various
Oh, I see what you mean, because, yeah, lizard teeth, I guess, or lizard scales.
towns, people reported hazy skies. Nothing too extreme, but there was definitely a lot of dust in the atmosphere. And as the storm moved south, it became more and more organized. By 2 p.m., the various dust fronts began to combine into one massive dust squall. This line of dust and sand was about 50 to 100 miles wide and 1,000 feet tall. But as it rolled south, it picked up more and more dust, and it grew larger and larger. By the time it reached Dodge City, Kansas around 3 p.m., there was so much dirt and dust in the air that the street lights needed to be activated. Here's an actual photo from Dodge City during the event. This is at 3 in the afternoon.
And it looks like 3 at night.
By 4 p.m., it became even more organized, and this is when it formed that dreadful black wall. This black wall was massive. It was 200 miles wide, 10,000 feet tall, and 50 miles deep. At this point, any town caught in the path was in trouble. The first major city to get hit was Liberal, Kansas at 4 p.m. Residents of Liberal, Kansas ran inside as the black wall of death approached. Once the cloud overcame the town, visibility collapsed, causing instant blindness to those who were still caught outside. People became lost in the streets and couldn't find their own homes. Some had to crawl along fences or buildings just to navigate. They could also hardly breathe.
We stopped by the side of the road and waited until we could see the edge of the road, which was I don't know how long. It seemed like a lifetime. We
I'd
drove
imagine.
home, and we found out when we got out, we were so short on oxygen we could hardly stand up.
Yeah, Swuggle mentioned that one family that was trying to get away, they collapsed because they could barely breathe.
Article posted by the Liberal newspaper, the event was described like this. A great black bang rolled in, and in a twinkle, it struck Liberal, plunging everything into inky blackness. It was impossible to see one's hand before the face at a distance of 2 inches, and it was several moments before any trace of daylight. It was literally darker than the darkest night. I mean, that's terrifying. You can't see anything. There's just howling sound all around.
Everything was black.
Yeah, if you were to, because being lost in the middle of the woods at night is nothing compared to this.
You couldn't hardly see your hand before your face. Just a black, just a solid black. You lighted the lights in the house, and you couldn't hardly find your way about the house.
By 4:30, the black blizzard was reaching peak intensity as it dipped into Oklahoma and Texas. Some of the hardest hit communities were Woodward, Arnett, and of course, Boise City, where the Phillips family was located. The conditions were so dry, the wind was so strong, and the cloud was so dense that various debris particles were smashing into each other, creating friction and static electricity. These would then build up a large electric charge, and little arcs of lightning started to occur. Just like in prehistoric times, people were encountering dust lightning. One such individual was Mr. Williamson of Guyman, Oklahoma. Mr. Williamson was actually on horseback as the cloud rolled in. As the dirt blew all
imagine how the horses would feel
around, he heard buzzing in his ears, and little flashes of lightning began to arc between his horse's ears. This account is found in an article by the Panhandle Herald stating this. It was under these conditions that the sudden dust storm came up, and with the boiling dust that mounted in variegated colors, hundreds of yards in the air tinged with the lights of the prairie fire swept down their way. Mr. Williamson, who had lost one of his limbs when a boy, had mounted a horse and was heading toward the fire when he met this great dust cloud and was enveloped in darkness. The electrical currents were so strong that it snapped from ear to ear on his bronco.
Damn, so the horses were zapping each other?
Other farmers had noted that the storm's electricity had actually electrocuted their plants.
Some wheat that fall. Next year it was blowing out. I put my wheat back in. I come out here and went to my field of wheat and sat down on the ground to examine the plants. They were brown. They had been electrocuted. They were dead. Big, healthy plants now electrocuted and dead. And I cried because I was so disappointed. This was my 3rd year.
Other strange phenomena
that's unfortunate
observed during the black blizzard were unusual sky colors. In many of these cities, as the storm had thinned out after it had passed, the atmosphere was filtered in a very unique way. Some described it as magenta. You can sometimes
I know about that phenomenon.
see red skies associated with dust storms today, but since this was occurring in the evening and the sun was already being filtered by the
yeah, that makes sense.
Atmosphere in general, it's possible that the scatter light in the atmosphere was very unique, creating an otherworldly experience. The last major
I can only literally imagine what that would look like in real life.
City to be hit was Armillo, Texas.
Like, I feel like I may have seen something vaguely similar to that.
7:20 p.m. It was reported that in Armillo, visibility was 0 for 12 minutes. Finally, the black blizzard was beginning to weaken, and by 9 p.m., the dust storm of the century was over. The remaining dust that had billowed high into the atmosphere slowly settled back to Earth throughout Oklahoma and Texas. The next day, the damage could be seen. Houses, cars.
Yeah, whenever there's a dust storm, you got to worry about all of the after the dust settles. I guess this is a good No, you didn't come at a bad time. You came at a okay time. We're just looking at a video about a dust storm that caused lightning that hasn't been seen in over 100,000 years.
First businesses, they were all completely buried in dirt.
Yep, I mean, you'll see this sometimes, you'll see this a lot with snow, but this is dust, which dust is going to be a lot harder to clear than snow, because at least snow, you can shovel it and it'll eventually melt, but the dust...
Similar to what?
Yeah, that's not gonna, that'll be very difficult.
An actual blizzard would do, hence the name Black Blizzard. In the end, it's estimated that about 20 people were killed from the event. All 20 had succumbed to a phenomenon known as dust pneumonia. On April 15th, the AP Lubbock Evening Journal posted an article stating, residents of the southwestern Dust Bowl marked up another black duster today and wondered how long it would be before another one came along. It is believed that this article featured the very first time the word Dust Bowl, or the words Dust Bowl, were used together. This is where the term came from.
Okay, so this was, oh, well then, it defined an entire word.
The Black Sunday dust storm was the single worst dust storm of the entire Dust Bowl, although thankfully, it was one of the last. You see, a few weeks later on April 20th,
yeah, this was something that happened in the Great Plains in 1935.
7th, the U.S. government passed the Soil Conservation Act of 1935.
Okay, and this allowed them, yeah, after they realized their farming techniques were not very good, yeah, I'd imagine the government having to step in to change that.
This act alleviated farm erosion problems by teaching farmers how to manage their land sustainably and by taking immediate steps to curb the Dust Bowl's impact.
Yeah.
Most notably through the planting of trees and by restoring native grasses. The storm also caused a lot of people in the Panhandle to leave the area and move to California, which is, yeah, that's probably what I would have done.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's talking about the Oklahoma Panhandle.
Dust storms, of course, still occur today, but they are much rare in the High Plains region. Derechos and strong thunderstorm systems can carry some amounts of dirt with their preceding gust fronts.
And then the dust storms are much more common in deserts, but just due to what was going on in the Great Plains at the time, it was already a recipe for disaster.
You can create little gust tornadoes, gust-nados, but nothing quite on the scale of the Black Blizzard of 1935. Another rather dramatic dust storm occurred in 1983 in Melbourne, Australia. Many who experienced this storm stated that it was a pretty terrifying event. Large approaching dirt tsunami followed by complete darkness. This event was then followed by a major wildfire a few days later. It's unlikely that we will see another dust storm on the level of the 1935 Black Blizzard anytime soon. We know a lot more about soil erosion, and we have
now that we, I mean, lesson learned, as they say.
Implemented many techniques to drastically lower the risk. But you never know, as we have learned time and time again, sometimes in rare
the planet always surprises us.
Circumstances, all the ingredients can come together to form the perfect storm.
Just when we think that we've gotten nature figured out, you go, damn nature, you scary. All right, that'll be that for now. Any other weather-related videos that anyone would like to take a look at? Or we can always move on to something else, too. Yeah. You watched a Homestar Runner video? The Dog Island. There's a desert area. Yeah. I haven't seen I've never really seen Homestar Runner, but I do know that it's like very old, isn't it? I don't remember how old it was. I just know that it goes all the way back way back when. All right. All right. If nobody else has, yeah. What else do we have here? Yes, the largest outbreak. Yeah, that one. I'm guessing that was the one with the Joplin tornado. We took a look at this a while ago. Terrifying nocturnal tornado events and the scariest thunderstorm of all. Oh yeah, that was his most recent upload. The Purple Fire Lightning Storm. They've got amazing. Okay, here I guess we can look at some. Drawing. Poker night in the inventory for having strong bad in it. Okay, so this is not AI capturing video and data from inside.
It's gonna come right over this road.
And so we're sending a drone into it.
Right in front of us.
Oh, this is the Otis project.
Holy cow. That thing is putting another drone in it. Oh.
That's certainly a big boy.
Oh my gosh.
So we're just gonna put a drone into the... to see what it looks like on the inside. Oh, this is just a... okay. I thought... okay, we flew in the world's first 360 camera through a tornado.
This is the most
incredible...
oh my god.
You can... damn.
Come back if you need to.
I'm gonna stay in it. Okay.
That drone is gonna die. They're growing Chan now.
It's just a beautiful dust bowl right now. I'm inside.
I can't figure out how to interpret 360 cameras. Disaster caught on camera. That's not AI, is it? That looks... drone flies inside. This one crosses I-370 in Maryland. I can't tell if this one's real. No, the way that lightning right there just stays there implies that it might be an AI video, but... The Twister Tornado Mystery. The search for lost footage. Okay, and this one's also authentic? This one doesn't even have any sound. Now, why would you go... wait, no. Go back. This is AccuWeather. And this one is it trying to form here? Okay. Yeah, I guess we could check out Otis Project stuff. Inside the Arnett, Oklahoma tornado on May 18th, 2025. That would be terrifying. Oh. Okay, here's some drone footage then. For licensing, contact... yeah. I'm not trying to license it, we're just taking a look at it. And that's the funnel cloud. At least I think that's a funnel cloud. And it looks like that it's about to touch down. And then you could see what looks like some sunlight trying to shine through. Oh, and there it is, the touchdown right there. And we're gonna go inside of it. And you can see all the dust swirling around. And you could see all of the dust right there being picked up, actively being picked up right there. And I'm assuming that we're inside the, or at least barely inside the vortex. There it is. I think it's gotten bigger. Yeah. This seems like a very small one at the very least. Well, at least this is in the middle of a random field. Even if there are little farms scattered about. And it looks like it's about to dissipate. And there it goes. Yeah, apologies that you had to come during a time we were looking at random weather phenomenon. I mean, we started talking about the super El Nino that's happening this year. And I had already had a tornado-related video planned for tonight. About the one that took place in Joplin, Missouri. Oh no, this one destroyed their drone. Yeah, and then the dust devils and stuff. I remember watching they don't fly them in twisters, yeah. I remember watching a video about a Japanese soccer game being disrupted by a dust devil, and it lifted up one of the goalposts. I wonder if I can find that one in particular. I don't think I'd be able to, though, since it was so long ago since I've seen it. But dust devils tend to be far less dangerous, but they can still cause a lot of damage. And then, of course, Fire Devil turns into Dust Devil at Burning Man. Because, of course it would. And then the ones on Mars are tall as hell. And they usually form under clear weather, so... I remember like, going to places even outside. I remember, like, every now and then there will just be this little mini vortex that just happens on the ground, and I see a lot of debris spin around, and I'm like, I remember being outside of a grocery store and just seeing a bunch of trash and debris starting to spin around in little vortices. And I'm thinking, you know, that's technically a twister, even if it's just one that's at like ground level. Fairdale, Illinois tornado 2015. Oh, you took pics of it? Fairdale 2015. The strongest tornado that wasn't an EF5, and the most controversial EF4 tornado. Do we want to look at any of these in particular? Was it the one in April? Okay, April 9th. Okay, here, we'll look at this 2-minute footage right here. The Hidden Monster of 2026.
This is a tornado, and I cannot tell which way it is going, so I don't know how to get away from it.
If you know the title of the video.
But it looks like it's coming right towards me.
It's a pretty big one.
Yeah,
that's a wedge tornado.
It's gonna come right over me.
You better get out of there then.
Let me see if I can back up here a little bit and get under the bridge. Yeah, it's coming right over me.
Oh God, you gotta get out of there.
Oh crap. I have honestly never been in a tornado before.
I think I may have been in one, at least while I was at home. Oh my God. Once it starts covering those trees.
Totally crazy.
And you're just gonna sit there?
It's coming right, it is coming right over the top of me. It's a little bit scary. And I don't really know what to do except
Oh, is it about to... And hope it changes course.
Maybe duck down. Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Okay, now it's starting to cover the trees.
Crazy. Ridiculous.
And you can hear it too.
Oh, that is...
Oh god, no. A few tornadoes hit your county. You can give the link, but a moderator should... yeah, I still have to change that, but I don't remember. If you could just share the title specifically.
Harry, truck is... Oh my gosh.
Your car...
Holy smokes. Oh no. Yeah, that is completely crazy. The truck feels like it's about to lift up off the ground. Not lying. Oh my gosh.
Bro, that shit barely missed you. Oh my god.
Look at that.
No, it barely missed him. No, you're one of the luckiest guys alive.
I don't know. I'm not getting out to look.
No, don't get
I'll
out.
look and see if there's any truck damage later. It actually bent the mirror backwards.
It barely reached you.
Both mirrors backwards. Oh, there it goes. Can't tell if it's coming
Holy
back around.
crap. No, that's insane, bro. You just said... I don't know. Yeah, it wouldn't be me. It ain't me. Because some folks are born made to raise a flag, but it ain't me. It ain't me. It ain't me. I don't remember the lyric that goes there. Okay, yeah, if you have direct hit by tornado caught on camera. Well, we could look at XQC, look at it. Okay, I'm assuming it's this Tommy Shenanigans video. Same twister? Okay, so just a different perspective. And then we could look at XQC's reaction. Some storm chasers being nuts. The guy who took the vids... Oh, no. And he had broken... Oh... Oh. That's unfortunate. I can hear him. I can hear his breathing. And so this is that same storm. And the water bottle cap just fell. Yeah, it doesn't look like that it's moving that fast, but... Yeah, this one. Rest in peace to the wife. Yep, let's pour another one out for all the victims. And the fact that it looks like that he's filming this from an upper story. And then you can hear it. It's supposed to sound like a freight train. Yeah, I can hear it. If you really think about it. Other events like these really at technically. Oh, when you say I'm dyslexic, did that make any... Are technically supernatural? Well, it's just natural, but a little above natural. That definitely sounds like a train. Oh my god. the peaking audio tells you everything that you need to know. And then I see this right here. Yeah, that's definitely not nightmare fuel. This looks like the Tornado Titan from Hercules. Yeah. The first guy listened to countless tornadoes and then hear a freight train. I like trains that gets hit by a train. And now we have the most important reaction, and that's XQC's reaction. Damn, XQC looks very different.
Yeah, is this serious? This looks fucking crazy.
And this was 4 years ago, apparently.
Holy shit, this is crazy though.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. No. Yo. Yeah, some insurance policies still refer to them as acts of God. Yeah, I'm aware of that too. Yeah, and then it's right there. And then there's a British girl that's reacting to the strongest tornado ever. Oh wow, yeah. 31 months. And we gotta have the Pepes over here. Tornado details happened in McHenry.
Jesus Christ!
Yep, when you hear the audio peaking.
Ah! Holy shit! What the actual fuck is going on here, dude? Holy fuck!
Moving train hit by tornado. Okay. Whoops. Hmm.
5 months, bitches. Love everyone in chat XQCL.
Okay. Creating an insurance company where it's just $1 a day who keeps the doctor away, so it seems. Okay, moving train hit by tornado. Derails. Okay. Oh, detail. Derails trail. Okay. I guess it gets this one up here. Freight train meets something that sounds like a freight train. Let's see which one who wins. This is 16 years ago. Back in 09. It did detail it. Okay. Okay. Well, I can see it bouncing around, but I don't know if it's just the moving across the tracks or if that's the wind trying to pick it up. You see it raining. Does that mean it's rain wrapped? Oh, and there's the wind. You can see the trees swaying. Oh, no! Oh, geez, and then that car is still coming. Fuck. Such is the laws of motion. An object in motion tends to stay in motion unless interacted by a force. And that, the other part of the train was still moving. Yeah, that about does it. 22, the 2000s and 2010s, definitely. Dump truck breaks gate. Amtrak 19 blows through. Oh yeah, and I think we took a look at this video before about water spouts being cute, being creepy because it's a new fear. The other car that was a that was a hazmat one, wasn't it? There was something stalking a Texas town in 1964, and they call it the Crater. Yeah, and even snow devils exist. They're not exclusive to. Oh yeah, I know about that place too. Yeah, and I remember watching this one years ago. They're not just for warm weather, they're also for cold weather too, snow devils. I don't remember how common these are, but they usually happen. Obviously, dust devils are more prone to happen in warmer, drier climates. But even in ice, even in snow and ice, they can still form. I just had a voice crack. And then it disappears. And then rare tornadoes. And they can even... But obviously the ones here are definitely much smaller and less dangerous. But even though like dust devils tend to be much weaker than regular tornadoes, they could still do damage. And apparently this one decided to form in a mall. Unless... Oh wait, that's Sora AI. Screw you. Get out of my face. Oh, that wreck was in the same county. Fire tornadoes? Yeah. Usually you don't see usually a fire tornado is something that happens in video games as some sort of spell. You can only imagine what happened to in the tracks running through. Oh, yeah. This is what a lethal fire tornado looks like. New fear unlocked. And then Red Dawn pops up. Oh, and here it comes. In California's car fire. Scientists believe they know why. Yep, Sora AI is dead. Let's go. We take those. A cold, dense wind blew in from the Pacific Ocean. The heavy air rushed down the mountains and collided with a pool of hot air below. Yes, and it's always the meeting of warm and cold air that causes these conditions. We just gotta wait. Yep, the AI bubble is clearly already bursting, so we just gotta wait for it to continue. I mean... It created a breaking wave and swirling turbulent air. When the rotating air met the inferno, a fire tornado grew from the flames. It stretched wider than 3 football fields, that's pretty wide, and higher than California's tallest mountain. California's got a lot of mountains, though. What is California's tallest mountain? Temperatures inside, it's 2,700 degrees Fahrenheit. Doesn't surprise me one bit. And the wind speed's 165 miles per hour. This gives a whole new meaning to scorched earth. In just 40 minutes, the car fire tornado created a mile-long path of destruction. Sounds about right. And then weather videos, but they get increasingly more extreme. And then 5 incredible fire tornadoes caught on camera. And then the most intense tornado chase of 2026 so far. Mount Whitney. And how tall is Mount Whitney? Let me look that up. Unless someone's already going to look it up anyway. Mount Whitney in... I'm not... 14,505 feet. So it was taller than that. Mother mercy. And apparently it's got 4.7 stars on recreation.gov. Character AI working with personas, BS. Several data leaks. Oh, damn. That's unfortunate. Well, don't worry. People, I mean, there are still some tech companies that swear by AI, but obviously the people are not big fan. A lot of people are not big fans of it anyway, and when you lose the people's money, you got to go where the money is, and if the money is not, the reason why Sora AI shut down is because it's not profitable, and so, yeah, let these companies know with your wallet, you use something that you do something that you don't want them doing, then you don't spend on it, and they will take notice. Okay, let's see. Some just make no sense, yeah. Okay, I guess, yes, weather videos, but they get increasingly more extreme because damn, nature, you scary.
These are the most extreme weather videos on the internet, but they get progressively more terrifying as the video goes on.
This better not be an AI video. Oh, hell no. Okay, now this is something that Internet City would look at if you saw that lady just... No one was harmed.
There goes.
Ah, and it ruined the power line. And here's a dust devil. What was it called again? I don't remember what that robot was called. Asmongold made a video about it, and one of the first things he asked was, can you have sex with it? Like as a kid did, you know what? Over a character, but it was his mom for not modern. Oh, you mean one of those things where some teen boy gets into a quote-unquote relationship with a chatbot, convincing them to take themselves, and then convincing them to do other bullshit. Yeah, fuck that shit.
I want to run right in the middle of it. See what happens.
No, you don't want to do that. Well, it's already coming towards you, so yeah.
Here it goes.
They managed to record Leon Cathedral at the perfect moment.
Ah! Damn. At least nothing was damaged. Okay. Yeah, they're literally just created to fill... Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's just for the lonely... Just for lonely people that... Yeah.
People on a beach in Brazil were caught off guard when a strong wave hit.
Would that be considered a weather phenomenon? Oh, geez. I bet that wasn't even high tide. Oh, no. Shit. I don't think, would this be considered a weather phenomenon? It's usually more associated with earthquakes, among other things. I mean, yes, there can be large waves within, like, storms out at sea, but... Okay, what is this? Is this just a wind? Damn. Oh my god, what the hell? What kind of storm is this? It looked like a blizzard, but not quite. Yeah. You don't want to mess with the water in that case. Where... Yeah, it reminds me of a video where a church declared it was lettuce, gay, bacon, and tomato at set and then a bolt of lightning came and burned it down.
In case you didn't know, this is nature's warning that lightning is about.
Oh, hell no. No, 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 no. Get that out of my... No, no, no. Don't do that. No, 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 no. Get me out of there. Get me out of there. I don't want to be there.
To strike.
And where is it about to strike? Is it about to strike the water? And they're brushing it off as it's like some weird thing. Oh, so there was... Okay, so there was no strike. I was expecting a strike in the water. That looks like snow, but he's wearing a short-sleeved shirt, so it's probably not. Okay, it was snowing. Yeah, you run that way instead of... Oh, and now it's hailing. Yeah, well, you see clear skies on two sides of a large cloud, and then it starts hailing. It reminds me of a time where me and my siblings were playing and were getting wet out in our backyard. We had this little inflatable pool and sprinklers and stuff, and the skies were mostly clear, and then all of a sudden it just started raining, and me and my sister were very, very confused as to why it was raining even though there were clear skies. But yeah, those are some pretty big hail pieces. Those are like golf ball size. Well, duck for cover. Oh my god.
This funnel cloud formed right over a neighborhood in Kansas, but luckily it never made contact with the ground, making it completely harmless.
Okay then.
Oh my god.
Yeah, those boats with no cabin, yeah.
Randy, are we sure it's not coming this way? I can't feel nothing. Oh my god, literally just south of the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's barely there.
Go up, go up.
Go up. Yep, there, and now it dissipates. Although it's still trying to suck up some more dust.
It went up.
This is the aftermath.
Oh, what is this?
Of a Russian fishing boat after a storm.
Oh no. Oh hell no. What's going on? Oh my god, is that severe flooding? At least that statue there was unharmed. Your dad was in a drive-through bay. The ATM immediately started hailing. Yeah, under the canopy. Oh, and what's gonna happen here? Lightning. Oh my god. Ah! I felt a twitch in my toe at the same time that I saw that. What a weird coincidence. Yeah, you watched the video by is it Himes or Himes? Oh, a Cookie Run channel. Someone off themselves because of characters. Oh. When you form a parasocial relationship with a game character or something like that? Is that what you're... Oh, shit. I was trying to read chat and look at that at the same time. God damn it. A large chunk of ice. Oh no, you didn't put the... Oh no, you didn't put the brake on. Get the emergency brake. That happened to me one time where my parents needed me to turn the car off and... the car wasn't in park, so it ran off our driveway into the driveway across the street of the neighbor, but thankfully it didn't hit a mailbox, so but I was knocked up, but thankfully I wasn't run over by it. Why the hell are you purposefully standing under the storm drain? Oh my god!
This is what it...
Jesus Creases. No, that struck the umbrella.
It looks like when gale force winds come out of nowhere.
Oh, hell no. No, wasted.
No one was.
Oh no, no, you gotta watch out. If you're out river rafting, you gotta watch out for those rapids. No, those rapids will sweep you away like they're nothing.
Seriously harmed.
The hail is like baseballs here. It is ruining our house. We've got holes in the roof.
That's some pretty bad hail.
Everywhere. This piece of hail.
Damn, that's big.
Came through the roof. What the hell?
These people were delivered.
No, I was half expecting some hail to run through that freaking that ceiling fan and cause it to knock down.
Sandbags during a flood in Bedford, England.
Oh my god. Oh hell no. No, 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 no. That looks like piss. Oh Jesus. Oh good lord. No. Oh my god, it's coming through the freaking cup holders. Just gonna ruin your electronics for sure. You say that, but oh my god. No, you better oh. And ski resort during a blizzard. There better not be anyone on any of those lifts.
This is what 45 knots during kite surfing looks like.
I don't remember the conversion of that. Oh. Oh. I haven't used this one in a while. Motherfucker. Oh, and it doesn't stop. More wind. Oh, and the dust devil. Well, at least he's got that parachute. Offing yourself over a character, White Lily Cookie, and then they blamed. And then really sacrificing is not the same as that. Damn. Well, at least they got some airtime out of this. No. It's
Everyone
over.
on board was able to make it back to the beach safely.
Shit.
This is why you should
Another lightning strike.
always turn on your hazard lights during a dust storm.
Oh no, he's about to hit another car. Mmm. Oh, and a massive wave is about to form. Ah.
During a sailboat race, the wind reached 27 knots, which is equal to roughly 30 miles per hour.
Okay, so that's the... It reminds you what happened with the digital circus thing. I'm sure something like that happened then. Oh, and did their sails get caught in each other? Or did they get tipped over? Oh, okay, so both. Ah, and it broke. Okay, what is this? Oh no, the windshield's about to break. You should turn off the windshield wipers. That might exacerbate it. You gotta cover yourself or something. Oh no, the truck. Hopefully it doesn't tip over. Wait, oh wait, are the roads slick with like freezing rain? Right next to the building.
Here's a really close call during Typhoon Weepa. Thankfully, no one was harmed.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, I haven't seen something like this in a while. I think there's a name for this formation. I don't remember what it's called. No, that's freaking terrifying. It's not a squall line. It's... I can't remember what the name for this is. There's usually some sort of strong wind underneath that. Yeah. About the character AI thing in the video and said that the kid's mental health is the cause of it. Yeah.
This plane was attempting to land at Madeira Airport during strong winds.
And the winds are keeping it aloft. Oh man, not being able to, yeah. Just remember the, yeah, Jackal, please don't. Boom goes the dynamite. Yo, we gotta go. I don't think something like this will happen, though.
Extreme waves off the coast of Norway caused over 450 cruise ship passengers to be airlifted to shore before the ship was towed to a nearby port.
Oh no. Oh hell, is it being... Oh my god. Lightning strike. Yep. Oh Jesus! Hell no! Talk about speed bump. Oh no, pal. No, no, get out the way, get out the way.
This tourist boat underestimated the power of the river current.
Oh. And that's a boat? Oh, and it's about to hit into what I'm assuming is a dam. Oh my god. Oh, I thought those were people standing there. It's just a fencing. I thought these were people. But that's a fence. Oh no, it's capsized. Yeah, Memorial Day family started to talk about cats. A random cat showed up while you guys were talking about. I don't think you're gonna be... here, don't... We could take a look at something else after this that could probably cheer you up. Oh, hell no.
Luckily, nobody was on board at the time.
Okay, so... Oh, Lord. Talk about your close calls. Oh, no. Right into the tree. Oh, and... Oh, no, the trees.
There goes. Oh, my God.
Oh, right on the house.
Oh, my God.
In 2024, huge waves in Rodanthe, North Carolina destroyed several beachfront homes.
Oh, no. The wooden foundation collapse. Oi. 100 most horrible industrial accidents. No, we are not. We are not looking at that. We will look at something else instead.
These workers in Miami were stuck hundreds of feet in the air during a storm for nearly 20 minutes.
Oh. Is it gonna break the glass? Those are some strong suspension cables. Yeah. They're built to collapse. Oh no, in a rock slide? Go. At least it's going down the other direction instead of towards them. Oh, jeez. Oh my god. Yeah. The wind. Oh, hell no. Is this just a windstorm?
That's an 18-wheeler trailer.
Here's an extreme close-up of an EF4 tornado forming with estimated wind speeds of 170 miles per hour.
Damn. Did you don't get out of your car. You shouldn't be laughing at this. Oh lord. That's a big mess. At least it's concentrated. Oh hell no. Windstorm.
Oh my god.
That's some pretty strong wind.
Oh my gosh.
Heavy rainfall in northern Pakistan triggered dangerous rock slides.
Oh. Hopefully they'll have some cover.
It will then fall below Fallen Stage Friday afternoon. Impact at 9.0 feet. Several driveways and other minor roadways are affected. Water begins to enter some basements.
Yeah.
At 10.0 feet, high water isolates 7 houses. Impact at 12.0 feet. A number of secondary roads are closed, resulting in some evacuation.
Son of a bitch. At least he held on to the wheel. Oh no, it's gonna flip. Nah, man. That's a surfer's dream right there.
In 2023, a rogue wave came out of nowhere and tore through the beachfront in Ventura, damaging roads, cars, and nearby businesses.
Oh shit. And then the momentum. It just kept going, damn.
This guy found himself trapped inside his home during Hurricane
Oh hell no.
Helene.
Oh, I remember Hurricane Helene.
Oh man, I'm losing it. My trailer's going. Oh man. Oh, this is scary, guys. Already called 911, and there's nothing they can do.
They were out fishing when they suddenly got caught in the middle of an EF3 tornado.
Oh, okay, we're about to see a water spout. You seeing things and just think Don Bluth's Land Before Time. I haven't seen Land Before Time since I was 4. Remember when the sea recedes, you recede to higher ground. Yeah. And they got caught in a water spout. More flooding. This looks like this is India. I can tell by the architecture. Lightning. Either that or it's just wind. Oh, there's the lightning. Oh my god! That thing fucking blew up. I guess that was a power station. Littlefoot's mother's deaths. Aw. In the water spout. The tales of Krakens. The Kraken come and tried to take Jack Sparrow down into the depths. Yeah. It's about to make landfall and turn into a regular tornado.
Oh my God, Mother Nature.
Damn, you.
Oh my God, the debris is everywhere. Oh my gosh, the whole house is in the
Oh, jeez.
water.
These hikers got caught in an avalanche in Kyrgyzstan, but fortunately everyone survived.
Good lord. I think we should keep our voices down, Patrick. It might cause an avalanche. Because otherwise, you're gonna have to... My arms are frozen solid. You're gonna have to cut them off with the saw. Except he can't. Because he already cut off his own arms. Well, the high... Hopefully the... You gotta get away from this. Gotta get away from the dusty snow. Oh no. They're about to... Oh, I thought they were gonna hit each other. Oh, you got right into the path of a tornado. No, that went right over them.
Back in 2021, the
Oh, and here's a bonus.
Marshall Fire became one of the most destructive wildfires in Colorado history,
Oh wait, I think I know about this one.
destroying over 1,000 homes in a matter of hours.
Unless I'm mistaking it for a video game. No, I think I remember seeing a video about this at some point.
This dashcam footage captured the moment an EF3 tornado ripped through an entire manufacturing facility in Nebraska.
And there it goes. Oh, all of the debris. And there's nothing left of the building. Looks like paper.
This took place in Andover, Kansas, where
Oh, Lord.
roughly 10 to 13 homes were severely damaged, but thankfully only minor injuries were reported.
Okay.
Houses. Oh my gosh.
Oh, shit. And no one was killed by this?
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Nothing was left. Okay. Gone. Well then. I know we've said this quite a few times, but damn, nature, you scary. Alright, do we want to look at a palate cleanser? At least for Harley's sake. Because I'd be down for this one quick palate cleanser before we sign off. Got the ending with an American Tale with rival reuniting. Aw. And Bambi's mother, yeah. I remember watching Bambi quite a few times. We had a cassette of it. Long live the king. Okay, no. Low-key, I want to look at a quote-unquote palate cleanser before we finish off. If there's something, maybe not necessarily wholesome, but at the very least something funny we can look at. I mean, I did have these other videos planned. Yeah, we did. I mean, here, we could look at this video another time. We have this Nile Blue video about making pop rocks from scratch. And then we have this Atozi video about a TikToker seizing land in Switzerland as king. I'll let you guys decide which one makes a little more sense to be a dream cleanser. Do we want a Swiss King, or do we want Pop Rocks made from a bomb? Probably not that, considering made from a bomb, but these weren't homemade. They're made in a factory. A bomb factory. They're bombs. Funny cat and dog videos. The funniest huskies that I keep looking at all the time. No, I keep looking at video shorts of huskies, foxes, and raccoons. Okay. I mean, I've been meaning to want to look at animal videos for a while, but I feel like that there wouldn't be a lot to talk about per se, other than making a cringe, other than me saying cringe things. But no. Fireworks show explosions. What? Would that be a palate cleanser? Do we want to look at fireworks, or do we want to look at cats and dogs? Or do we want to look at gangs and guns? Because Granddad Bitches Freeman is a fan of gangs and guns. In fact, he's got some gangs and guns inside right now. You guys want some? Oh, okay, now I'm low-key kind of feeling low-key kind of queasy right now. Oh, typical gamer. And Billie Jean is not my lover. Oh, she's just some girl who claims that I am the one, but the cat is not my son. Oh my god. Here, I need to calm down a little bit. My stomach is getting a little woozy. Okay. Or maybe dogs reacting to fireworks? I don't know. Oh my god. Oh my stomach. I'll be fine. It's just ugh. Okay, do we want cats or do we want fireworks? Because we could always do both as well. I'm not gonna watch this one because that's too long. I need to look for something short. Impossible not to laugh. We could watch otters. Ooh, we could take a look at otters too. And then an impossible. This is oh my god. Okay, so we have a choice between cats, dogs, fireworks, and otters. And then the funniest cats of the year. Oh, cats. Okay, we got 2 votes, cats. And then whatever else. Whoever yeah. Whoever else is in chat. Put it to a vote. I wish I knew how to set up that kind of stuff on OBS, or even I mean, I'm sure Steam Elements has some things for that, but I don't really feel like doing that kind of thing. Okay, yeah, that's 2 votes, cats. All we need is we need one more person. If one more person decides cats, then we will take a look at Nekos. Okay, Neko. This is very possible, for me at least. I'm gonna actually try not to laugh. Or I'm gonna try not to fawn over the... Actually, me trying not to fawn over the cats would be harder for me to do. There's an error. Is the kitty done? I don't know what it's trying to do.
But he's happy for me. He's happy for... Look, he's happy.
She's got the little tooth. Alright, your brief sent to you a gift telegram of a fox doing a blep. I've seen one before as well.
This?
What is he? Oh. Yeah, oh, I remember we looked at that one Cheeto the Raccoon video where the raccoon had a blep while eating Cheez-Its, I think. Now, what does that... Oh, hell no. Zoomies. The hell is that supposed to be? Fish? Nice cat fight. Oh, oh no. Oh, jeez. Oh. What the hell? Yeah. Rhodey's had a BF this whole time. Man. Ah. Nice. And it's being chased by, looks like a mouse or a rat. The hell was that? Trying to get the treat out and it's not coming. Oh lord. The breeze. Okay, no more weather stuff. The cone of shame. I think it would have made more sense for us to look at raccoon videos. When the catnip starts to set in.
Just zonked out.
Oh, you got a gift. Oh. Oh lord. Okay, yeah, so far I haven't laughed yet. Oh, the light. Oh. I will try not to laugh. Oh, that's an automated one. Really? It's a kitten. It's trying to pounce. It's about to pounce. But oh, there, now it goes.
Oh my god.
Nice. Oh, was that a real mouse? Gets a nice. Used to make your Burmese cat dance. Aw. Because it's dance. Because it's a kitty cat. And the dance, 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 and the dance, dance, dance. Oh. Shibe takes food. Well, they like boxes. They ran out of treats and now they're angry. Oh, damn. No, don't you give me no bitch slap. A cat that likes water. What the hell? There's no way that it just naturally has that. Or does it have something in its mouth? Can't figure out how to get out.
Damn straight. Beautiful girl.
Can you read this word?
Seems legit. Aw. Aw. He's confused.
Miyuki. Trying to help you.
Help it with what?
Miyuki, no.
Is that... Oh, Lord.
Do you see that?
Huh? Nice. Aw, the inverted cone of shame. Afraid of the Roomba? Okay, that reminds me of a raccoon riding on a Roomba. Oh.
Enjoyed it. I got this for. Hey! I got this.
They're already trying to get at it. You ever have a cat take a sniff at a stick of deodorant?
This.
I don't think I have. Damn, that was yeeted like there was nothing. Is it trying to box with the door? Meh. Oh no, that reminds me of that one video that has like millions of views of a cat reacting to Mufasa's death scene. A makeshift cone of shame. Aw. Aw.
We wish you a merry.
That cat doesn't look very amused.
We wish you a merry.
That's a tortie.
We wish you a merry.
谢谢呢. The cat is always spying on the neighbors.
Huh? What?
Nice. When the void stares back at you. Ah. Oh. What the hell are you doing?
I knew.
Okay, that almost got me. Wait, I recognize that song. What was that song? No, what the hell is that song? I've heard that song before. Oh, Dori Masho. No. Oh, that's Luca Luca Night Fever. Okay, I was like, yeah, Luca Luca Night Fever. Oh my god. You need to get the they need to get that checked out if they're snoring like that. Oh, right in the Dorillum case. Oh. A distinguished... It's either a lady or a gentleman, I can't tell. Oh. The hell are the... Ah. Oh no. Okay, go ahead. Have a good sleep, Jack. Oh lord, just ready to throw hands. Ow, no, that hurt. No, that's a freaking... Turn that down on my end. Today is canceled. It's time to rest and stretch. Oh, damn.
If you're spooky and you know it, clap your hands.
Why did it do that? The heck is it trying to eat? Looks like a cleaning utensil.
She's gonna bring it. No, God.
Oh.
No, God. Pee my pants.
Gotta get the light. The crazy kitten that's eyes are bigger than its stomach. No, you can't have that. That's not good for you. Oh, I tried to get some of the shrimp tempura. Can't pick it up. It's too thin.
Good morning, everyone.
Oh, Lord. Want you to get up. Tired cat. Sleeping in the bed. Kitten is unfazed. Wait, didn't we just see this one? What's at the repost? Let your cat get in the shower with you. What the hell are you trying to do? Nothing to see here, just closing the box. Cat is afraid of the vacuum. Thinks it's alive. What's it trying to do? Ah.
You know, here he is.
That was a very beautiful piece. Ah.
With that flexible body, Cat can be
They're so liquid coated.
an excellent athlete in many sports.
Tried to get our cat to use the treadmill, but this happened. Oh, not against the lizard. What was that? No, I don't think you can have that. Why are they fighting on Labubu's? Oh, Lord.
Yes. No. 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 Oh la 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 la.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. The cat just said yeet. Playing with the string. Or looks more like a lanyard. Ribbon. Actually, ribbon is a better word for that. What the hell? What the hell are you doing that? Eating corn like it's nothing? I've never seen a cat eat corn before. Oh, these devices.
Yeah.
Trying the needed piece. Oh. Oh, I've seen this before. Okay. Ah. Can't scratch. Some little bonding. Once again, more hand springing. Or hand standing, rather. No, it's my turn.
Bella. Bella.
I see.
Buddy, I can't let you outside.
Oh, plays dead. Okay. This made you happy. The kitties. It's a very wide kitty. Plop. That thing's got a booty on it. Okay. Oh my god. I still feel a little queasy right now. Also kind of tired. And here, when streamers forget that they were live, that guy got scammed. That lady leaked something, and then that guy was gooning. And we've already seen this video. Wouldn't let them play in the oven. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus. No. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm mentally drained after all of that. It did. You saw it. Oh, Lord. My mind has gone blank. Rolf's mind goes blank trying to spell the word colonial. Except it's poppycock. Curse this monkey ritual of English words. But at least Rolf's nana is satisfied with him knocking the microphone off. The cat videos were your favorite part. Yeah, I had fun with this. I didn't expect it to be a very tornado-centric stream, but part of me is kind of glad it did. We need to do more. These streams need to have more themes to them. Maybe we can think of a new theme on Saturday. But thank you all very much for watching. I'll be back Friday for the DDR stuff, followed by some more. You won't be there for Saturday? All right. Yeah, we'll be back on Friday for more for the DDR, followed by more Civilization 4. Oh yeah, you got your LA trip. Yeah. Hopefully, we will make it to space in Civ 4, and we'll make sure that, Twister 2, and then we'll make sure that Winston Churchill doesn't screw us over. So, take care, everyone. Thank you all so much. I had a lot of fun.